two, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. Boom, boom, boom. Mic check. Mic check. Mic checker. 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. Let me know when the audio comes through. 1 2, 1 2. Boom, boom, boom. Let me know. Let me know if the audio comes through. If and when the audio comes through, let me know. 1 2. Are we good? I don't know if we're good. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you when the audio comes through. One, two, 1 2. Are we good? Let me. What's up? Raf, hear you. Okay. Okay. So I'm audible. I am audible. I am audible. Okay. Panic crisis averted. Okay, let me get this link out. Little panic there, little panic mode. Little panic mode. Boom. Okay, that's out there. And boom. Link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Damn it. Live and learn. Always living, always learning with this damn technology. Okay. 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 Let me get the uplighting going. Let me get the volume on this down. And we are ready to commence. Okay, how long's going? All right, 7 minutes. Damn. That's 7 minutes of madness. 7 minutes of madness when I didn't have no sound. But guess what? Abra cadabra. Where are we? Where are we? I think James. Are you here? Are you in here? Where can I see you? Am I delayed? Am I on some kind of delay? James, are you here? Okay. Boom. 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 The Watcher. The Watcher is in the building.
Boom. Hey.
How you doing, Watcher?
Good. Good.
Well, are you recording that from some kind of? Are you recording that from an empty opera hall?
Nah, just my room. Different room though.
In a different room. Okay. Sounds like you're recording it from a cavernous opera room, my friend. You got some kind of echo chamber going on, but it's all cool. And the gang. James is in the building.
Hello.
Damn, James. You're low on the mic. How you doing?
Is that better?
Just mute yourself when you're not talking, Watcher. Not you, James, the Watcher. Okay. I'm muted the Watcher. Okay, James, how you doing? Talk to me. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. I had a little mishap just there. Came in with no audio. Who's doing the heavy breathing? Is that you, James?
Probably me. Nah, my mic's a bit fucked, but messed up, should I say. I always saw.
Nightmare on Elm Street, heavy breathing, bloody hell. We got kids who watch the show, James. Come on, mate. Come on.
Nah,
Okay.
this thing's been really annoying me lately. This microphone.
What? Yeah, the mic. Yeah, man. It's the technology. It's the technology. Almost did me in. Came in without no audio. But I think now we're there now. My nerves are settled. We are good, and I think we are ready to get into the show. Okay, so without delay, let's look at the topic sheet. Oh, first of all, sorry. How rude of me not to. Let me drop the link in the chat once again, just to make sure everybody got it. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi episode. Where are we? It's 83. Okay, so yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what's going on right about now. Where do we start? Where do we begin? Okay, and this is where we get together to talk boxing. And I'm looking for my first topic. Looking for the first topic. What we got? What we got? Okay. Dazn. Do we start with Dazn?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I think we start with Dazn. Yeah. Okay. So, Dazn, there's been a story going around. There's been a story going around that Dazn, the Barry Hearn, Eddie Hearn, came out as an interview with Eddie Hearn where he says, well, actually, before I go into that, let me get into the chat. Let me do the greetings. Let's start off with the greetings. So it's Georgie Porgy up in the building. What we got? We got YG Knight. YG. The link is in the chat. YG Knight was joined us last time. When was that? Last week. Very entertaining affair. Who we got? We got the Lisa Bayliss up in the building. Alerted me to the fact that we had no audio, which took a little bit of wire jiggling to solve. That was a little bit of slightly disturbing. Who else we got? We got Toby Bartlett in the building. Who else? What else is going on? We got the Boxing Jedi up in the building. What else is going on? Okay. We got Marla up in the building. The area beginning to populate now. Much appreciated. Much appreciation for everybody who jumps in. And for those who jump on. Yeah, that's all good. Okay, so we're into our first topic. And it is, as some of you will have seen, as some of you will have seen, most of us will have heard about. If you haven't seen it, you've heard about it. Eddie Hearn over the weekend, or latter part of the week, said that Dazn, for the quality that it's bringing, nobody should hesitate. Nobody should hesitate to get the annual subscription. No one should hesitate. And when he switched tact to the monthly subscription, he said, yeah, we should put it up to 50. Even if it was 50, it'd be good value. $50 a month. We should put it up to $50 a month. You know what I mean? We don't want people jumping in and jumping out. We want, just sign up. Sign up annually. How much is it? $100? $100? It should be $50. It should be $50 a month. And I think what most right-minded people would have took from that was that it meant that Eddie Hearn was saying, "Yo, get your yearly subscription in. It's a good price. Get your yearly subscription in for $100. What is it in America? $100. Where are the Americans? It's $100.
Yeah, it's $100.
It's about $100. So I think what most right-minded people would have took from that when he said it should go up to $50 a month was that, what he was saying effectively was get your subscription and get your annual subscription in. Get your annual subscription in. But what has happened? What has happened, as often does happen, is that words get taken out of context. So now he goes from we have a statement which really meant get your subscriptions in, get your annual subscriptions in, and don't jump in and jump out. It's great value. How would you feel if it was $50 a month? You know what I mean? Get on the annual, or be consistent, or whichever. But of course, those words were taken, contorted, distorted, used and misused to take on a different meaning. So the headlines read, "Oh, Eddie Hearn says Dazn should be $50 a month. Oh, Dazn raising their subscription to $50 a month." Complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. The Boxing Jedi says $50 a month. No, it's not going to $50 a month. It was just a statement Eddie Hearn made when talking about Dazn. And basically what he was trying to say, it was good value, $100 a year, good value. Don't jump in and jump out. It should be $50 a month. Why don't we put it up to $50 a month? He wasn't really saying it should go up to $50 a month. He was saying appreciate the fact that it's like $100 a year. Okay, so where am I? Yeah, where am I going first with that? Let's go to James. James, what are you saying, mate? What are you saying on that story?
So, but I'll be on for a few minutes, but
That's okay.
I say I think it's bad because a lot of people, they only watch one show a year, don't they?
Yeah.
So people have taken out of context, but in a lot of respects, if you only watch one show a year and you've got to pay $50 for that one show you want to watch,
yeah,
that's terrible, really. So, a lot of respect, he's saying it is worth $50 a month for what you get, and you can try and force people to get subscriptions, but I suppose that's business. But when it comes down to it, it hurts the casuals if they do that. They up the monthly. It's just hurting the casual fans. Well, like me, if it's come over here, maybe I wouldn't buy the $100 a month, $100 a year. I'd maybe do, £20 just for the month, just to watch the one show I want to watch and carry on. If you know what I mean. I don't have to. Yeah.
But if it were $50 a month, and you were going to be watching like two shows, at least a couple of shows, 2 or 3 shows in the year, like one show in each quarter.
Yeah, but the 2 shows, 3 shows, the $20, it never targets that kind of demographic, because the demographic the zone really goes for, especially the $100 a year, is the not the casuals. It's more the people into boxing, the above the casuals, and you got the kind of people that like a bit of boxing and they're happy to pay $100. But if he raises the 50,
yeah,
so he just hurts the people just want to watch that. Let's say Logan Paul KSI, if it was $50, people just simply would not have brought it. Because they have no interest in boxing. People, like he said in the build up to that fight, that he did it for. He had that fight to make people buy a subscription so they can get into boxing, which is not going to happen like that. It just hurts casual watchers, really.
Yeah, but I was going to say, if it was $50 a month, and you was watching one show per quarter, or forget that. Even if it just if it was $50 a month, and you thought to yourself, well, hold on a second, for $50 a month, that's 2 months, that's $100. I might as well buy the annual.
Great business, but I don't really agree with that.
Okay.
What I don't really agree with, maybe it should be $50 a month. I think the $20 where it's at is perfect.
Yeah.
The demographic, the person that would buy the $20 a month, is the person who's only going to watch one show a year, aren't they? They're not going to spend $100 on watching one fight. They're gonna have a quick, watch a fight with 20 pounds, and then they're gonna carry on, with their actual lives and
but if,
sports they like.
but it's over in America, and the pay-per-views over there like $65-$75.
Yeah.
So it would still make sense to get that yearly subscription for $100.
See, maybe I think of it too much of like if it was £50, £50 is like $65. So
Yeah.
you do the conversion rates, then it's like that's like ridiculous, isn't it? You're paying like that kind of price.
Yeah. Okay. So link is in the chat. Anybody want to jump on? Jump on. Going over to the Watcher.
Yeah. So did Eddie Hearn suggest for it to go to 50?
No. The context in which it was said was that they were talking about the value of Dazn. They were talking about how cheap it is. They were talking about, people just, and Eddie mentioned, don't just jump on for 1 month, jump on for the year. It's great value. It's great value. What about if it was $50 a month? What if it was $50 a month? Maybe we should put it up to $50 a month. And I think that statement was really alluding to the notion that people should just get your subscription and get your yearly subscription in. Go yearly. Go annual. Go annual. Go $100 per year. Go $100 per year. And to punctuate the point, Eddie said, well, what if it was $50 a year? Maybe we should go 50. No. What if it was $50 a month? Maybe we should go $50 a month. But really, that was just to punctuate the point of how good the value is. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the zone are not going to $50 per month. It was just Eddie using that notion, that $50 a month notion. To illustrate how good the value currently is.
I mean, I knew Eddie, of course, wasn't bringing it up to 50. There's a lot of other channels that are saying, oh, like the zone's going up to 50 a month, which is untrue.
Yeah.
So, Eddie talks business, he talks money. So he'll always put that out there. He'll always, just put that question out there. Oh, what if it goes, what if it's this much? Or what if something is that much,
Yeah.
What is it right now?
I think it's what American.
It's $20 for the month. Or $100 for the year.
$20 a month. It's $20 a month. Okay.
That's all right.
$20 a month. Yeah, it's $20 a month.
That's about £16 in British pounds.
Yeah.
I think I said earlier on about the $65, $50 is the other way around. It's about £35, $50.
Yeah.
A bit wrong, but
I don't see anything wrong with Dazn now with their pricing, and I think they're good keeping it the way it is. But Eddie says that stuff a lot about pricing of things, so it's no surprise.
Yeah.
So, I've got to jump, but I'll
man.
see you lot. I'll talk to you lot later. Eh?
Nice one, James. Thanks for jumping on, mate. Thanks for jumping on.
Hope you had a good year, Rafi.
I did, my friend, and 2020 is going to be even better, my friend.
Yeah, hopefully it is. Hopefully it's better for everyone. New decade as well, so.
New decade as well, so just keep on grinding, Go easy on the Sherry.
Yeah.
And we're in good shape, my friend. Thanks for jumping on.
I might jump back on later, but we'll see.
If you can jump on later, mate, feel free.
Yeah, all right. See ya.
Okay. Take care. Okay. So, as you were saying, the Watcher.
That's it, really. I mean, look, when it comes to like the money and stuff, like just with subscriptions, I don't have much to say on it. It is what it is now. And Eddie's just saying his thing on it, his piece on it.
It is what it is now, and Eddie is merely saying his piece on it. Yeah. That's what it is. It's $20 a month. Just looking through the chat here. Obviously, we're not in America. We don't get the zone in the UK. What's going on there? Okay, going through a few comments. Marla says, the more expensive you make something, the more selective people become about what they watch. Indeed. Indeed. I think you're addressing the what is it, the pay-per-view or the DAZN? Is it the pay-per-view or the DAZN? What else? What have I missed? What have I missed? Okay, so we're scrolling down. Yeah, typically, PPVs in the US is typically $80 for HD. Why would they do it not in HD? Who's watching not in HD? Yeah, thank God. Yeah, it's not going up to 50. It's not going up to 50. Fake news. Ain't happening. Boxing Jedi. Yeah, he's a promoter. He's doing his job. Exactamundo. Exactamundo. Vincent Grant says there's more than just boxing on DAZN. Yeah, there's much more than just boxing. You got MMA. I think you got soccer. And if you're into darts, then you're in luck. Got a good amount of darts on there, I've heard. So I've heard. US haters of Eddie are just waiting for anything just to besmirch his and Dan DAZN's character. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, Marla says it's a US-UK rivalry. Who's this? Car spotter. Opinions on AJ. Opinions on AJ. We will be talking about AJ's situation in a while. Marla. The DAZN price. Yeah, we're talking about the DAZN. Well, we have spoke about the DAZN price not going to 50. Not going to 50. Okay, $100 per year. That's the price, and it's $20 per month. I think the simple message is get your annual subscription in. Don't be cheap. Just buy yearly. Pay £100. Get your annual. Pure and simple. Pure and simple. Okay, so we've chopped up. We've slayed the myth. Slayed the myth of the $50 per month DAZN subscription. That is not true. It is not the case. You know, Eddie was dealing with hypotheticals. I think we chopped and diced that sufficiently, and we can consider that topic done. Okay, so now we're looking to go into the second topic. Let me have a look. What are you going to do? What are we going to deal with next? Okay, I think we go into it. As a matter of fact, hold on, before we do that. Yeah, I think the next topic is going to be Frank Warren versus Bob Arum. So it's Warren versus Arum. Okay, so there's two stories. It's a tale of two stories coming from two different promoters. On the one hand, you have Frank Warren saying that the loser of, hold on a second, let me just do this properly. Let me do this properly. Let me put something in the back of the screen. Let me do the backdrop. Let me screen share. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so yeah, it's a tale of two promoters. On the one hand, you've got Frank Warren with one story about the rematch clause, how a rematch is going to work out for the second fight or for the third fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So we've got one tale from one promoter on how the third fight comes into play or gets activated, and we have another tale from another promoter. You see, both Frank Warren, the promoter of Tyson Fury, and I guess Bob Arum is a promoter of Tyson Fury also for the American side of the operation. They are coming out with two separate stories. There's two separate stories coming out from each one of them. On the one hand, we've got Bob Arum saying that apparently in an interview that the winner of that bout is the one who chooses if he wishes to activate the third fight, activate the clause bringing into play the third fight. And then on the other hand, if you check my video, if you see my video of how the trilogy works between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, if you check that video, you'll see that Frank Warren is saying that it is the loser of that fight who activates the rematch clause. So the person who loses between Wilder and Fury, they then choose whether they want to activate the rematch clause. So I found out last night that Bob Arum is saying it's the winner gets to activate it or not. So you got Arum saying the winner gets to activate it or not, and Tyson Fury's other promoter, Warren, says it's the loser that gets to make the decision whether he wishes to activate it or not. So that's a muddled tale, muddied waters. Who the hell is right and who the hell is wrong? The Watcher.
Yep. Those two make me laugh. Bob Arum and Frank Warren.
Frank Warren, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the first place, I don't even like the fact that there's this rematch. Sorry, not the rematch. A fight after the rematch, because they said that there's the loser has a choice, to like take up the rematch or not.
Yeah. That's the story you heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story. Hold on. No. Keep yourself muted till you're called. Yeah, carry on. The Watcher.
Yeah. So what was Frank Warren saying?
So Frank Warren is saying the loser is the one who elects whether they want to activate the third fight. That's what Frank Warren's saying. But I found out last night from my buddy Beeb that Arum has said the exact opposite.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, look, promoters are known for lying or kind of springing something on people at the last minute.
Yeah.
I don't know who to believe. Do I believe Frank or Bob? You know what? I like Frank Warren. I think he's cool. I think that his thing with Eddie Hearn, that's obviously another thing, but he's kind of looked at the wrong way sometimes for the shows he puts on and like the fights he makes and the pay-per-views and everything.
Yeah.
But for me, Bob Arum, I mean, he's like 90 years old. He's, put Crawford in that contract for like another 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And
he's 88.
Yeah. Keep yourself muted, Justin, till I come to you, please.
Sorry, what was I saying?
Yeah. Warren is 90. Frank Warren's cool, but Arum is 90.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm just trying to think. I'll get back to you in a second.
Yeah,
on that.
no
All right.
problem. Oh, no problem. Oh, Justin
Oh,
in the
well,
building.
you guys, I'm just gonna explain what I just got done doing. As you guys know, I'm an MMA fan and a boxing fan, so I just got done interviewing Smiling Sam Alves. He fights sometime in the next couple months in front of tens of thousands of fans in a sold out arena, UFC Columbus. So it's uploading right now. I'm making the thumbnail. What's the topic for today's show? Whoop! Almost forgot to hit the like button. Now I did.
Okay, so good. Congratulations. Okay, so back on topic. We got a tale of two promoters. Did you hear what I said when I was talking to the watcher?
What's the topic? I didn't hear it. I was working.
Okay, so Bob Arum and Frank Warren, both promoters of Tyson Fury. Both promoters of Tyson Fury have got conflicting stories. Bob Arum, or rather Frank Warren, is saying that Tyson Fury. Frank Warren is saying that Tyson Fury is going to. Okay, put yourself off camera. Get yourself off camera.
Sorry, my bad. Because my friend DT3, not DT3, this other guy, he talked to the YouTube. He talked to the YouTube like community and stuff, and the support team, and they said that you're not gonna get fined or anything. Because if you set yourself to content
Justin,
not for kids,
just let me ask the question, my friend. Just let me ask the question. So, Warren is saying that the loser of the rematch of the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder rematch, the loser gets to elect whether there is a third fight or not. Bob Arum has the opposite story. Bob Arum is saying that the winner, I heard last night, Bob Arum was saying that the winner of the second fight gets to elect whether to activate the third fight or not. So we have a conflict. We have a conflict in views there, conflict in stories there. What's your take on that, Justin, before I bring the boxing Jedi in? What's your take on that, Justin?
man, I think it's a really good choice.
Okay, Justin, it's been nice having you. It's been nice having you, my friend. Take care. Take care. Okay, so in the building, we have with us none other than the man from Florida, the boxing Jedi up in the building. Happy New Year to you, boxing Jedi. Pleased to have you.
Man. Happy New Year, my brother Raph, man. Definitely, man. Everybody hit the like button. This is a nice hype ass show. I love it. And Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, everybody up in England, Ireland, everybody up in Europe, all my peoples, man. I love you all, man. You know what I'm saying? God bless you all, brother. Definitely.
100% always out. Nice to have the boxing Jedi take some time out of his day to pop in and join. And yeah, had a crazy start to the show. My audio was off. I think people don't realize how tricky this damn YouTubing is, boxing Jedi. They don't know what we have to go through to get the product to the store.
Man. I mean, you think truck drivers have a problem going through all types of weathers, dropping off product to stores? Here on YouTube, not only do we go through calluses in the hand from not the other stuff, but from all this, our brains, bro. Oh man, this is crazy, bro. All of these apps and connect this to that and that to this,
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But we'll get onto the topic in a second, bro. I want to talk on this anyway. But since you're here, a veteran in the game, I think I'll touch on it now.
Thank you, brother.
We'll get back to the Tyson Fury thing. Yeah, man, it's crazy when really to think that when I came on here, I was doing this shizzle with the phone. I was doing this shizzle with the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could barely get past the phone. I stuck with the phone for months. People were saying, move on now, Raf, move on, get on the computer. And, you know, eventually, you know, the skills you acquire, the skill acquisition starts to get up, and then you acquire a skill, then another skill, then
Yes,
another
sir.
skill, then another skill, and then you're up to here.
Yes, sir. There's levels to this, just like boxing.
Hey, and then even here, there's levels above this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's
Yes.
levels above this technology we're using now.
Yeah,
So
man.
we're using a simple technology, but I have to say, as much of a pain in the ass that it can be, every time you reach a new level, you feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And especially when you get the feedback, you know, from the followers and the, you know, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, especially when you get the feedback from the followers and certain veterans in the game like yourself come through.
Thank you, my brother.
That's another level. You've reached another level, and then it's up to the next level. You know, right now, and then we work. Most of us in this game, we work, so we have day jobs. And so it's fitting that shizzle on top of this shizzle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then still going to the next level beyond that. Because right about now, I'm looking at moving to another level.
I hear you. That's what it's all about. Graduating.
Levels.
Yeah.
Okay. So, So two different stories from two different promoters of the same man.
Right.
To put it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Frank Warren is saying, I did a video on it. The loser of the Tyson Fury second fight, the loser gets to activate the third fight or not, as he sees fit. Now, apparently, Bob Arum has come out and said, I have it on good authority from the Beeb over there, ringside reporter. I have it from good authority, spoke to him last night, and he said the opposite. He said that Arum has said that it is the winner of that fight who gets to activate or not the third fight. So some crazy shizzle. I don't know what you take on that. Some crazy shizzle. How, you know, what's going on?
Well, I think it's a good call to actually say the winner gets to activate a third fight. They have a choice whether they want to move on or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a different question when we ask each other individually, do you want to see a third fight? Regardless on whoever wins, do you want to see another, or do you want to see Wilder Joshua or Fury Joshua, or you understand?
Great point.
But that question right there that you're asking, that's a very major question, because a lot of people would disagree with that. They would say, oh, well, you know, I just feel if Wilder wins again, a lot of Fury fans would say this, and they have all rights. Oh, he'll duck him again for the third time, but it wouldn't be considered a duck if Fury loses. You know what I mean? Now, if Fury wins, then you know what I mean. You know, Fury gets to activate it as well. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a very, very great idea. You know what I mean? It's fair. It's fair. You know, it's fair. If Fury wins, okay, we're going for the third fight. You know, if Wilder wins, to this day, I'm ducking, and there ain't gonna be no third. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, he'll probably take a third fight. If he feels like Joshua's up on the uprise, then he'll definitely ask Fury for a third fight.
So yeah, well, that's the next question. That's as a matter of fact, before we delve into that a little bit deeper, let me just go to a couple of the comments over here. Okay, Hands of Stone says, Errol looking like a joke out in these American streets. Pretty sure.
Agreed.
Sure. We're going to touch on that later. Pretty sure is referring to Errol Spence Jr. Toby Butler says, hit that like button before Raf puts the price up. Yes. Nick Diaz up in the building. Okay. So Errol's afraid of Bud. So the Spencer fanboys are protecting him like groupies protect Justin Bieber. Shake my hand. Shake my damn head, says Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz, what's up, bro?
Yes, indeed. Marcus Lauer finally got in a live stream before the isn't almost over. Yeah, you're in bright and early. Damn, there are a lot of comments I haven't seen yet. Okay,
Marcus, welcome, Marcus.
yeah, let's take them. Let's take 5 minutes to get through these. Okay, so most of the time it's champions that activate the rematch. If he loses, it's almost always the loser who activates. It's almost always the loser who activates the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wilder Fury 2 might be stopped due to Fury's cut, or Wilder knocks him out. I don't see it going any other way. How do I see that fight going? How do I see it going? Well, I think the conventional wisdom is Wilder by knockout or Fury by points. Wilder by knockout. I think that's the conventional wisdom. I think Fury will be better this time, and Wilder won't land the right hand. What do you think, Jedi? What do you think? Does Wilder land the right hand?
I think if he doesn't look, if he doesn't do exactly what we think he's going to do, and that's be very flamboyant in the ring and drop his guard, which got him dropped, you know, if he doesn't do that and he stays, actually boxing and gives a boxing masterclass and stays long range, and stays away from the mid range and just tie up Deontay Wilder whenever he sees him ready to cock that back in case he lands in the mid range, then I don't see any problem. I think Fury should have this in a bag, because if you really look at the last fight, Fury was really boxing the crap out of Deontay Wilder, man. And I don't know, 2 knockdowns. Was it 2 knockdowns or 1 knockdown in that fight?
Two knockdowns.
Since when does a man win the other 10 rounds from 2 knockdowns? Meanwhile, you being outpointed the other 10 rounds by the other guy. That's, you know what I mean? It's like, but this time around, that can't happen. That can't happen. I think Wilder does land the right on Fury's mistakes, which is dropping his hands and going to the side and being flamboyant and showboating. You know what I mean? But if he stays focused, remember in that fight, he was focused. Every time he had his guard up, every time he moved, Wilder was swinging for a prayer.
Yeah. The Watcher, he's still here?
Yeah, we're here.
Hey, Watcher, how you doing, brother?
Hey, good. Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you, my brother.
Yeah, the Watcher is from down under, the land down under.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the Watcher, I know he's got the opposite stance to you. The Watcher, what's your position on this? How does he go second time around?
Oh, man. Well, like you said, the traditional point, the traditional way to see the fight is Wilder by knockout and Fury on points. I've watched the fight so many times. I've lost count. I really haven't. Yeah, I think a lot of people just watch the highlights.
Right.
And they just go with the narrative that Fury was robbed. Now, I didn't watch the fight live, right? Because down here, I couldn't get it. Like, I couldn't get the fight.
Yeah.
Couldn't order it because, there are all complications here. But when I heard about it, I heard that robbery. That was the first thing that I heard.
Yeah.
Right? That was the first thing that I heard. And I watched the highlights and I'm like, oh, shit, Fury got robbed. And I picked Fury to beat Wilder the first time.
Yeah.
I thought Wilder thought he was easy. I thought he was easy. That's it, really. But I watched the fight and look, for example, all right, you got 2 10-8 rounds, okay? Round 9 and round 12, all right?
Yeah.
You got round 10, right? And this is off the top of my head. Fury schooled Wilder in round 10.
Okay.
But he sure as hell did not school Wilder in round 1, because in round 1, all I saw was Wilder going to the body. I saw him land that counter. Even at the end of the round, Fury, hit him with that big right hand. There's a lot of rounds that Wilder did more. And there's a few rounds that Fury did more as well. I think this time, and I've actually heard from a source,
Yeah.
Fury training with Sugar
Hill.
Hill, Javan Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
And they are focusing on that, obviously, that stepping into the power thing, but they're also focusing on the body a bit more in that fight. I remember in round 9 when Wilder went to finish Fury, and he was throwing that stupid 1, 2, 3. He's throwing it so wide. He never, and it annoys me because like he never he throws it in training really well. Like he throws it down the pipe, turning his arms into it. Even the hook is tight for his reach, and he's just winging that 1, 2, 3 like 2 times in a row. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you are giving Fury a chance to survive here. I remember he walked into a left hook, and I thought, shit, like you walk into one. And in round 12, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Wilder, he opened himself up and he was going for a home run, and Fury landed 2 massive punches. It was that cross, and Wilder took it really well, but he didn't see the hook, and it hit him right on the, you know, where like your ear is and the jaw meets, just there, hit him right there on the button. I thought, if in this rematch Fury can sit down just a little bit more, and if he can, you know, lean on Wilder when he's on the ropes, grab those thinner arms and, you know, squeeze them, take a bit of the lactic acid out and use his weight, hit him in the clinch, be dirty. You know, it's what I say about Dillian White. That's how Dillian White can beat Wilder. Make it a street fight. So, but
the dogs don't agree. The dogs don't like that. The dogs like,
no, they didn't. But yeah, like he said before, I forgot your name. Sorry.
Boxing Jedi.
Jedi. There we go. I'll remember that now. If Wilder lands a right, I don't think Fury gets up this time. You can only take so many of that. Look, Cunningham, Nevin Pikage, the first Chisora fight, and the first Wilder fight. There's a bit of wear and tear. I don't think there'll be a Undertaker thing again from Fury. If there is, I'll be blown away again. But if Wilder does land, I think he will knock him out. The cut itself, I don't know. The cut itself, I don't think it will open. I've said it before. I just don't think it will open. But if it does open, I don't think Wilder's clever enough to throw a certain punch at that eye. And I don't know why. But look, I think Fury can win by points or by stoppage, because I don't think he can flat out knock Wilder out, but he can do it with accumulation and counters. But I think Wilder can win a decision if he outworks Fury. If he makes it dirty as well, if he gets wild and hits him, you know, in the chest, if he hits him in the ear, you know, hits him to the ribs, or by knockout, or if somehow that cut opens, he'll win by that. That's my take.
So it looks like you're going for Wilder. You're going for Wilder win. Jay Cotto, who did you say you expect to win? Yeah, you muted. You muted, Jay.
My bad. I'm expecting Wilder to win this one, but if Fury has taken care of business and you know, he's basically in shape, and you know, his mind is off the WWE and all that money making stuff that he did, which I'm happy for him. I'm very proud of him. But if his mind is together and he's sharp and he's punching a big crisper, he's focused, then I'm just gonna say, and he comes in great shape, don't count him out. But Wilder is expected to win this one, of course.
Yes. Wilder. I mean, you know, I go back and forth on this, but my initial response to all of this, that's the cleanest, purest, unadulterated, untainted response to the question, is Wilder via knockout. The political issues with Joshua saying he thinks that Fury might be quicker to fight him than Wilder, he kind of swayed me a little bit. And on reflection, thinking about that, when has Fury shown any massive desire to fight Joshua?
Exactly.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
So what makes Joshua think that Fury would be, well, it might be true, he might be marginally quicker to fight him than Wilder. but I don't think the margin is so great
Hmm.
that it is a significant margin.
I think he's talking not competitively, but I think he's talking, business wise. Like, if the money was there, he'd jump on that quicker.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. If the money was there, I think he'd jump on it quicker, but I'm not 100% convinced that he'd jump on it quicker to a massive margin. He's still I want 50% guy.
Yeah.
And they're still not going to want to give him 50%. They're not going to want to dip their hand in their own pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a problem regardless of who wins. Whoever wins this fight between Wilder and Fury, it's going to be a problem trying to make Undisputed. Because I don't remember what part of the game is it? What part in boxing history? What part of the game is it where the challenger says, I want 50%? What part of the game is that? The challenger is always a man who understands that if he wins the fight, he becomes the champ.
Exactly.
And he can call the shots.
But people have a problem knowing their role and shutting their mouths. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but all of a sudden now, as a challenger, it's 50-50 or nothing.
Right.
What part of the game is that to me? It's just complete and utter nonsense rubbish.
I tell you that right now, that stuff gives me a headache when I think about it.
It's a pain in the ass. It just stalls the whole process. It stalls the whole process. The only problem I have with Wilder winning is that if he does win, then now he's going to call himself the WBC champ and the lineal champ when he ain't fought nobody.
Right. That's the stuff we're going to have to hear now.
If Wilder wins, which I think there's a strong possibility that he will, we're going to have to deal with him saying WBC champ and the lineal heavyweight champion of the world.
That's as annoying as smelling mustard on your upper lip all day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, man.
If we do, we're damned if we don't.
Yeah.
Whichever way it comes out, it's going to be a problem to me. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
The watcher.
I actually heard that the Ring Magazine belt that's on the line as well.
That's on the line. They put it on the line. That's
free. That's free. There's no sanctioning fees for that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Wilder has come out, and I forgot where it's from, but he has said that he will not, he won't big himself up getting that belt.
Yeah, he's not going to talk about it. He says he's not going to talk about lineal. It's not a big thing to him. It's not a big thing now, but before he was talking about there's two belts on the line, the WBC and the lineal. And now he switched it up a little bit. Now the lineal don't count. He's not going to be talking about it. The watcher. If
he's changed it up, he's probably being more honest. Because listen, I don't get how Fury is the lineal champ. You have to understand, Vladimir Klitschko beat Chagayev in 2009.
Yeah.
That German bloke.
Yeah.
Okay, but he didn't beat fucking Lennox Lewis. He didn't beat was Lennox. Am I wrong? Was he the last lineal champ?
Yeah.
In the heavyweight division?
Yeah.
Right. He didn't beat him. They sanctioned that. They made that a fight.
Yeah.
So from then, Klitschko was made lineal champ. But Fury, given how much crap Fury talks, once he beat Klitschko, he's like, oh yeah, I'm the lineal champ because I beat Klitschko. And Klitschko beat Chagayev. Chagayev was not the lineal champ. It was for the lineal championship.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't beat the man who beat the man. And Fury better not go on about John L. Sullivan from the damn 1800s. Because that's not... It broke between...
It's broken multiple times. Fury's got no connection to John L. Sullivan. Fury's lineage goes back to one fighter, and that is Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. Not even Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. So his lineal is one fighter deep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's only toe. That's not even knee deep or ankle deep. That's like toe deep.
That's toe deep. His lineal toe deep. It don't go back to John L. O'Sullivan.
Toe deep lineal champs on the next Combat Radio.
It don't go back to no John L. Sullivan.
Right.
That lineal's been broke more times than more times than Donald Trump's gone bankrupt.
Hell yeah, watching that was a good one, bro.
And I'm not saying Donald Trump is broke.
No. Oh man.
Okay. So, okay, let's talk about so the water is still muddy on that one about who fights who. That the investigation will continue. Okay. So where is he? Son SOG. Where's SOG? Where is SOG, son of God, Andre Ward? Okay, so Andre Ward. Shall I bring up the article?
Yes, what happened?
I wish I had a secretary.
An intern. Get yourself an intern.
Yeah, I need an intern. Okay, so let's do this in real time. Andre Ward on Joshua. Andre Ward on Joshua. Lisa Bayliss brought up something and it triggered my memory. It triggered my mind. Where is he? Andre Ward on Joshua. Deontay Wilder. Oh, How can I find it? Can't find it, but never mind. So let me just say what I'm saying. So Andre Ward says that Joshua, I'll just give you guys a headline. You can run with it while I'm looking for it. Okay, Boxing Jedi. Andre Ward says Anthony Joshua needs to fight better competition. Over to you.
I don't know what Andre Ward is watching, but if you look at AJ's resume stacked against anybody else's, like, you know, in this era, he's fighting correctly. He's already gotten Chisora out the way. He's already gotten White out the way. He's fought Andy Ruiz. He's fought Joseph Parker. I mean, Jesus Christ. What is Andre Ward talking about? I think he meant to say Wilder, and it was a misprint. I mean, really? That's what I think. I mean, you know, I don't know what he's watching. I mean, I respect Andre Ward, but this one here, my man, I don't know if you're being biased in a way or something, but I mean, I don't see where you're coming from with that, because like I said, the guys I just named right now, those are like what, top 10 at least.
Yeah.
Within the division. I mean, and while they're still stuttering on Chisora and White, Jesus Christ. And Parker and Ruiz, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, what is Andre Ward talking about? Man. I think he's a son of Parkinson's.
The Watcher.
Yeah, I heard about this, and I knew it would get flack. You know, Andre Ward is one of the best from, you know, the last generational decade. You know, he beat Sakio Bika, Arthur Abraham, Carl Froch. He beat Kovalev twice. He beat Barrera. He beat a whole bunch of champions and contenders. For it to come from him saying this, what weak names are on Joshua's list? You got Dylan White.
Right.
Charles Martin, okay, like, look, Charles Martin, that was questionable, but, you know, he still beat a champion, okay? Brazil, he came game. Forget Molina, but Vladimir Klitschko, regardless of the age, okay, it's Vladimir Klitschko. Like, he can fight and he can box. You got Takam. Takam's a tough son of a bitch. He is a hard man. He took some bombs, and he's just smiling at Joshua. You then got Joseph Parker. Parker's great. He's got a granite chin. He's a great boxer, and he's so quick. Then you got Povetkin, who's just this Russian killer. Then you had Ruiz, massive upset. He lost by knockout, you know, and then he comes back and he wins almost every single round against him. And now they're talking about one of the two Mandos, or two in the same year. You got Kubrat Pulev, who's a bit old, on the older side now, but he's strong and he can box and he's tough. And you got the unified, undisputed cruiserweight champion Alexander Usyk moving up to heavyweight, looking to become the king here. What weak names are on there? None.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
None.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
this is thing. Andre Ward's come out before and he said, "Oh, Joshua needs to, not focus on looking, like an Instagram model, and he's with ESPN and he's bigging up the, alongside Tim Bradley, bigging up the lineal championship and this and that." And like even Andre Ward was saying, "Oh, I don't think either fighter's going to want to rematch each other between Wilder and Fury."
Yeah.
Like it's consistent with Andre at least.
Yeah.
But it's not really called for. Joshua's not for any easy fights. None at all. Even Takan, that was late replacement,
Yeah.
So I don't get Andre. I don't get it. For it to come from him, I'm unsure. I'm really unsure.
Yeah. He's either looking for a position at the desk over at PBC or something, or I don't know, maybe he's trying to get back into the LDBC's love, like Toby says here. You know what I mean? But something's got to give with that comment. I mean, I think he meant to say Wilder, and it was a misprint. I guess he missed it. Like let's just say if I was gonna say I meant to say the Watcher, but instead I say Raf. You know what I mean? And then they go and print it. You know what I mean? I mean I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, people. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think
that's the only way it could make sense.
Yeah.
That's the only way, like you just outlined. That's the only way it could make sense because surely he's not talking about Joshua. I mean, you can criticize him for whatever you want to criticize him about, but you can't say he fights weak opponents.
No way.
Yeah. None.
In fact,
I mean,
I'd like to know in heavyweight who's fighting tougher opponents in the modern day.
the thing for me, like Fury definitely doesn't have the better level of competition. I mean, from the top of my head, Chisora twice. Who else?
Fought Chisora twice. Of course, he fought Klitschko.
And then he fought Wilder. And he's fought no one else. That's 3 people. And then you've got Wilder. Okay, he beats Stavern. Look, I know people say a bit of shit about Stavern, but Stavern in the amateurs, he was quite good. Okay. He beat David Price. He knocked him out in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Stavern, I'm telling you, look.
Yeah.
As of now, he's nothing. When he fought Joyce, he was nothing. When he fought Wilder in 2017, he was nothing. But 2015 and before that, he was knocking every motherfucker out. That guy, he was tough. What failed him was the work ethic and just not getting the bigger win, But you got Stavern, right? Duhaupas. I mean, look, Duhaupas, he's tough, okay? He was like ranked number 11 in the WBC, okay? And he knocked out Hellenius cold, and that was in his hometown as well. He took that short notice fight against Povetkin, right? He got knocked out, but something Wilder couldn't even really do. Spilka, he's a good boxer, but he's a bit chinny. Washington's made a good comeback, but inexperienced. You've got Ortiz, okay? Like Ortiz is the shit. Like he's good, right? And then you got a draw with Fury, beat Brazil. Brazil probably coming in in his best shape, but he got iced in the round. And then you got Ortiz again, and then you got Fury. So Wilder's resume, for me, is Klitschko better than all the opponents that Wilder faced? Probably, but I don't think Chisora is better than Ortiz, and I don't think Fury's resume is better than Wilder's. I think Wilder's is pretty good.
Yeah, I think Wilder's resume now is beginning to shape up better than Fury's.
But there's no dispute that AJ's is the best.
Yeah,
imagine this year he beats Pulev and Usyk. They're like icing on the cake.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if you look at Wilder's resume, it's repeat pattern sort of. You know what I mean? Like you could tell, like he wasn't supposed to fight certain guys twice, and certain guys he wasn't supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight the other guy. You know what I mean? Like you could tell it's all wrong. It's like they steered his direction for him. You know what I mean? Missing a lot of tough obstacles, and then when he actually got to fight the 2 toughest freaking fights that he got, which is Fury and Ortiz. Look what happened. You know what I mean?
Look, he's had an unfortunate career because the problem with Wilder is I don't mind Shelley Finkel, but I feel like he really messed up with the Klitschko thing. Like Wilder was screaming for that fight. He was screaming for that fight. He was tweeting it out when he was fighting, when Klitschko was fighting Brian Jennings. He was saying, "Oh, I could fight him tomorrow." But Shelley came out as soon as he won the title, and he's like, "Oh no, he's a young champion. You know, let him evolve." I'm thinking, no, like put him in there, make that fight, because Wilder wanted it.
Yeah.
And then
Povetkin. Wilder wanted what?
He wanted Klitschko.
You sure?
100%. He wanted him. His coach Jay Diaz even told me that in camp.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's that rumor that he got knocked out in sparring, but I don't see how you can knock someone out in sparring and then keep them the full 3 weeks of training camp and saying
Hold on. Let me come in there. You know a guy called Richard Towers? Have you heard of a guy called Richard Towers, a boxer, English boxer? Okay, Richard Towers was in camp, one of those Klitschko camps, and I think Richard Towers was in the last Klitschko camp. He was in with some camps with Deontay Wilder, but he was in some camp. Richard Towers is retired now. Richard Towers was in the last Klitschko camp was in the Klitschko camp before, when he was preparing for Tyson Fury. Okay, so Richard Towers says that he came into camp to spar with Klitschko probably for the third time. It was a third camp with Klitschko, but this time he was a little bit slicker. He knew what to expect, and he was a bit slicker. So he was using a more defensive game. He was slipping, sliding, shoulder rolling, doing all that stuff, and he was catching Klitschko, but Klitschko wasn't catching him. So you know what Richard Towers says? Richard Towers said he didn't name the trainer, but no doubt, well, I suspect it was Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks told him, well, you know, when you go in there, you know, just stand up a little bit straighter, you know? Just stand up a little bit straighter, kind of European style. And Richard Towers says, well, do you think Tyson Fury is going to be standing up straight, European style? And he said, well, no, but still, you know, if you could just do the European style. And he said, well, I'm not really in there to be hit. I'm in there to work. I'm in there to work, you know? And I said, okay. They said, okay. And apparently they kept him in a 6-week camp. They kept him in the camp for 6 weeks and didn't use him. So keeping somebody around in camp and not particularly using them is not a new thing. As we know, Lennox Lewis was known for getting up all the best sparring partners, hiring them up and paying them good money and have them sit in camp so his opposition couldn't get them. Barely using some of them. So, yeah, I think my response is, yeah. I do believe it's come from multiple sources now that Wilder was dropped at least once by Klitschko. And I do believe Klitschko has a track record of keeping people on for the duration of camp. I
would like someone to actually ask him in an interview, like, you know, so tell us, there's a rumor going on around there that you got knocked on your ass by Klitschko. Is this true? So he could go, we're not talking about that. We're talking. That would be hilarious, man.
The watcher.
Look, sparring is sparring, but
yeah, sparring is sparring.
I mean, who else? Johnny Nelson. Actually, I think Wilder came out and he said, "Oh, Johnny Nelson's saying lies about me." The problem with Wilder, sometimes it's hard to believe what he says because of how he says things. So, yeah I don't know, but what was I talking about before the sparring? Because
we was talking about
resume and resume and who's he fought? Yeah.
Who's he fought? Yeah.
The Povetkin thing is a bit fishy because he wanted to fight him and he was in camp for it. I've seen many training camp footage, clips of Wilder hitting the mitts and everything ready for Povetkin. But didn't Povetkin get popped?
Povetkin got popped.
Yeah, but then they come to find out that it wasn't that much that they still could have fought, and because he got sued afterwards, Povetkin had sued. Wilder, and then he had to give back the whatever it was because he was able to fight him.
And then he had that Ukrainian or Polish guy who also popped, I think.
So,
for example, if I was in 2015 December, okay, if I was Shelley or Al or whatever,
Yeah.
I would have maybe gone for Chisora because that fight was meant to happen as well. But I
Right.
think Wilder was undergoing some criminal court case or something at that time. I'm not so sure, but it was something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Something fishy was going on there. He's had a bit of a weird career. I'll say that.
Who's that? Wilder?
Wilder.
He's had a very weird career, and what he does is he prolongs it, stretches it out. He minimizes his chance to get the top fights by keep on having rematches. He had a rematch. He had a rematch with Stavern. He had a rematch with Ortiz.
And we all know who brought out to the forefront the rematch clause, the 90-day rematch clause that was supposed to be given to Stavern for the second fight within 90 days that the WBC had ruled themselves, and they went over that and gave it to him. What was it, a year, 2 years later? Right?
Yeah, 2 years later. Madness.
You know, yeah.
Madness. There's a 90-day expiry date on it, you know.
Yeah.
And 18 months after that or whatever, you know, he's fighting Stavern when he could have had a top fight. He could have been fighting Dillian White.
Yeah.
You know, hold on a second. Let me get creative. We've just been talking about creativity. We've just been talking about creativity. Well, let me share something quite creative with you. Now we're talking about, no, that's not it. Well, that is creative, but that's not the one that I was looking for. I don't know. It'll take a few seconds. You guys on the panel might see it now. I don't know, but it takes a few seconds to come on through. Takes a few seconds to come on through. I don't know if it's come through yet. I can see it. But damn, the time lag on this thing is crazy. Although, that's not it. Although in real time later on, you're going to see it. Okay, I think it's there. I think you can see it now. So on the left hand side.
I love this.
I hope it's clear enough.
Yeah. You're gonna have to remove the quote though from the screen so we can see the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god.
Let me remove the quote from the screen. Where is
this?
Quote?
This is a treat. This is a treat, bro. This is gonna be a treat.
This is an absolute treat. The quote's gonna come down in a few seconds. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you have, well, let's start with the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have credible ups, 0 wins. Okay, so starting at the bottom of the screen, we have Joseph Parker, hasn't fought him. Povetkin, didn't fight him. We explained that one. Andy Ruiz, hasn't fought him. Dillian White, hasn't fought him. Anthony Joshua, hasn't fought him. Tyson Fury, 14 once, 0 wins. Vladimir Klitschko, didn't fight him. Okay, on the other side, you have 10 title defense wins, starting at the bottom. Eric Molina, Joan Duapas, Arthur Spilker, Chris Ariola, Gerald Washington, Stavern ×2, Dominique Breezel, Luis Ortiz ×2. And that is Deontay Wilder's championship resume. The Watcher. The Watcher.
What do you want me to say about that?
What can you say about that? What can anybody say about that?
Let's see. Far out. It's, you know what? Like, I like Wilder. Really, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Far out. Would it have been that hard to make any of them? I mean, Fury, yeah, but that's happened. That's happening again.
Yeah.
Joshua, I understand. Klitschko, a mess. Parker, Povetkin, even Ruiz, that could have happened, but even before he became champ.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Listen, for me, AJ's just got the best one.
I think I've only just realized that Anthony Joshua's fought every last one of them.
Except Fury and...
Oh, sorry, except Fury.
Yeah. No, but you're right anyway. Yeah, just not Fury.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's a good resume.
And this is exactly what I mean when I tell the fight fans that there is such thing as fighters fighting correctly.
Yeah.
And Wilder has not been fighting correctly.
Mhm.
Now, and like was stated from Rafael himself. He said it himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And even the Watcher said it himself.
Hmm.
He has fought almost everybody there on there except for Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everybody.
yeah. So I don't understand where Son of Parkinson's is coming off with this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Son of God saying that Joshua, if Joshua needs to fight tougher opponents, then who?
Right.
Who?
Right.
Who the hell does he need to fight? And then take a look over at the Deontay Wilder side.
It wasn't Andre Ward saying that this was after Joshua lost. Bear in mind, like after Kovalev, he said, "Oh yeah, I was gonna move up to heavyweight, and Matchroom were gonna give me a deal, a fight-by-fight deal. So if I beat a certain guy, I'll get to fight Anthony Joshua." Do you remember that happening, Rafael?
I remember something. Yeah, I remember.
I remember it. I've got one of the articles up. Yeah.
And I find that funny because, like, even Andre Ward, I don't even think Andre Ward really likes Wilder because he's not said very good things about him either. Like after the Fury fight, and I could be wrong. You never know, but like I know Wilder doesn't like Andre Ward, so I don't quite understand. Maybe Jedi is right. Maybe he was meant to say Wilder. I'm not sure. I didn't hear. Was it? I don't know. I really don't know. But
maybe it was maybe it was a slip of the tongue. But either way. But if it wasn't, then that is hater territory.
Yeah,
that is straight up hater territory. I'm way behind on the chat, so I think we concluded that one. We concluded that one with that picture, which that picture can tell 1,000 stories, and that caption there comparing the two resumes showed that they were as different as chalk and cheese.
Yep.
And okay, so let's get into the chat before we head on over to our final topic. Let's see what's going on in the chat. First and foremost, everybody in here, thank you for coming. Smash that like button. Anybody who's in here enjoying the show but hasn't hit the subscribe button, please subscribe now. Everybody remember that the PayPal button is there, so don't leave it lonely. Caress it gently every once in a blue moon. Caress that PayPal button. Don't let it get rusty. Do not let the PayPal button get rusty. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Okay, so getting into the chat. Roscard says Fury needs to fight the same way he fought the last time, except throw more punches and smother Wilder on the inside. Make it ugly. LDBC members have created the myth that Fury was knocked out and the fight should have been stopped, but they can't explain how he beat the count of 10. How he beat the count of 10, the resurrection. Okay. So Wilder is super easy to beat. If you watch the first 6 rounds of the Ortiz fight, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Okay, let's scroll down. Trying to get as much in as possible. Wilder as well winning the rematch by a KO. Stavern, Breezel, Ortiz all stood in front of Wilder and didn't punch, turning themselves into punching bags. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Dan Sheehan had 38 losses when he fought Wilder. Wow, that ain't good. Fury never shown he would. Fury never shown he would. Just said. Fury never shown. He just said he would. Yes. Phil Walker up in the building. only challenges I have. If you're in front of Wilder, you have to be punching. If not, get out of there. You can't stand in front of him and not punch. You're turning yourself into a punch bag. 100 percentile. What does Rendell Stevenson say? Wilder only fought two top tens, Fury and Ortiz. Yeah, that's sad. Maybe Stavern in the first fight. That's arguable.
Top 10 of what? In general or
Two top 10
WBC?
Two top 10 heavyweight. Consensus top 10.
Ah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Where are we? Get into it. So crazy. Okay. So Ortiz was overrated, an overrated senior citizen.
Roscoe's crazy. Oh shit. Oh man.
AJ has the best resume in the division. White, Klitschko, Parker, Takam, Povetkin, Ruiz. 100. 100. Wood lost the first fight. Wood lost the first fight and stopped him with a low blow in the second. Damn. No messing around. The chat is extremely active.
Oh yeah.
It's extremely active. Damn. I'm not going to be able to get through all of these, but I want to get through many. Let's keep scrolling down. As a matter of fact, let's get on to the last topic. What time is it now? Okay, let's get on to the final topic. I think it's the final topic. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, so Bob Arum covered that. In fact, before I even go to that, do we want to see a third fight?
Not really. I don't.
Jedi, you first, yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I want to see Wilder try to get to Joshua if he want. Okay, I really want to see that, and I want Fury to go to future endeavors if he doesn't get knocked out here. You know what I mean? Which most likely is going to happen. But I don't want to see a third fight.
The Watcher.
What is the point in seeing a third fight? This is it. This will close the chapter. This is it.
Close the chapter.
This will close it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the best way. That's the best way I can put it. Close the damn chapter. You've gone from rematches now to 3 matches, to trilogies. And this is just something that I think it's nothing that's being demanded. It's not being demanded. This thing is not being demanded.
It's not. It's really not, man.
It's not being demanded at all. Yes, Red Glove Militant up in the building. Wild Soul up in the building. It's not. This fight is not in demand. Yeah, it looks like GTA. I kind of stumbled on the font and yeah, man, it makes me feel like I'm playing a damn video game. The font I'm using for my thumbnails right about now. You know what I'm saying? Looks like GTA for real. Yeah, okay. So the chat is super active. This is unreal. Nicole BT up in the building. What else we got? Yeah, man. This chat is super active. It's incredible. It is incredible. Okay, so let's get on to the thing. Let's get on to the last thing. No more Fury Ortiz, no more bombs. How about that? Yeah, well, there you go. Well said. Okay, so the last thing. Keeping this thing moving. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so for that, I think I'm going to have to go into, where are we? Where's the story? Got the story saved. We got the story saved. Boom. Nope. 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 Okay, here it is. Here it is. Let me share it. Let me share it with you. Boom. 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 Okay, so a couple of seconds, it'll come up on your screens live. Of course, when you're watching the replay, it'll be there immediately. You'll say, what was Raf talking about? It was there straight away. But live, there's a buffer. There's a time lapse. So it takes a few seconds for you to come up. But anyway, okay, so the story go. Oh, first and foremost, I just saw, was it Marcus Lauer? Was it Marcus Lauer who was saying, can you get a link? I've dropped the link in the chat multiple times, my friend. You know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again just for you. Drop the link in the chat multiple times. Boom, boom, boom. It's there again. There you go. Of course, anytime you want to jump in, feel free to jump in. Link is in the chat. Boom, boom, boom. Jump in. Okay, so I'm sharing again. Okay, so Terrence Crawford issues expletive-laden social media call out to Errol Spence after his sister gets involved in the back and forth. Okay, so move the mic. Terrence Crawford unleashes a rare social media tirade in the direction of welterweight rival Errol Spence on Saturday night. The WBO champion, who's previously also won titles at both lightweight and super lightweight, desperately wants a career-defining fight following a somewhat frustrating 2019. Okay, so Crawford won his 2 defenses against Amir Khan and Kavalauskas last year, but due to promotional network affiliations, he's struggling to secure fights against the top opposition. Okay, so Crawford won his 2 defenses against Amir Khan. Yeah, I already read that. The 32-year-old fights on ESPN, promoted by Bob Arum, whereas the rest of the top 147-pounders compete under the guidance of advisor Al Heyman, PBC, on Fox. As a result, Heyman currently seems content to keep his welterweight bouts in-house, with the success of Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman and Spence versus Sean Porter over the past 12 months. Of course, all of those guys just mentioned, those 4 guys fight under the Premier Boxing Champions umbrella. Okay, meanwhile, Crawford remains perhaps inadvertently frozen out of the big fights, despite the fact that fans see him and Spence as the 2 top dogs in the division. This frustration boiled over for Crawford on Sunday night, after Spence set out to assure fans he isn't ducking any fighter. Terrence's sister, Letitia replied, Make the fights then. To which he replied, it goes both ways, missus. At this point, Crawford got involved and said, so what's been the holdup? What's been the holdup, homie? What's the holdup, homie? When I came to the division, y'all said I had to get a title first. Now you'll change your mind and you're talking about wrong side of the street. So I'm just here for another excuse. What's up? Spence didn't reply, but Crawford continued his tirade in a series of further messages. I'm ready when you're ready. Matter of fact, I've been ready before I even had a 147-pound fight. Like I've been said, you got these people fooled, but not me. Whenever you get back right, I'll smoke you. All you got to do is sign the contract next, and I'm on your head. And stop using the effing promoters, managers, and advisors for all that weak-ass excuse y'all doing. They work for us. They work for us. Y'all dumb mother. If you really want the fight, you tell them. I don't give two. That's who you want to fight. That's what you have to tell them. They work for us. Let your nuts drop and say you're your own boss. Damn. Crawford concluded with a message for the fans supporting Spence, referencing his car crash in October. Keep defending him, because I'm telling y'all now, and I mean what I say, when that day come, when I knock him the out, all I want y'all to do is keep that same energy, because he's going to cry in the car.
Savage.
Savage, brutal. He going to cry in the car. He wasn't built for this ish. I got over here. Just watch me show the world. He wasn't built for the ish I've got over here. Watch me show the world. Yeah, so what can I say about this? Here's the tweet. What the hell? Am I sharing my whole screen? You see my messages? Damn. You see my message? I hear somebody jump on, but I can't see nothing because I'm not in that window. But yeah, so that's the stream. That's the Twitter stream. We've seen it. We've heard it. What am I saying about it? Let me stop sharing for a start. Do I stop sharing or do I keep sharing? I don't know. I'll stop sharing for the time being. Damn. So, yeah, I'm going to get to you in a second. Phil, good to have you up in the building. But first, I'm just going to give my observation on it. Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no defending. Crawford has been lobbying to get the fight with Spence from ever since he dropped into the 147. I think that's one of the reasons he went up to 147. He wants to conquer a new division. He's already conquered one. And now he's moved up to 147. Wants to conquer that one. Wants to become lineal champion that division too. But it's clear to me, very clear to me, that the PBC don't want to play. They don't want no part of Crawford. Crawford's on the other side. Crawford's with Bob Arum. Crawford's with Bob Arum, and people are, well, I don't want to get into that aspect of it. I'll come back to that aspect in a moment. But yeah, my take on it is that Crawford wants all that smoke. Recently, you've had some narrative. Oh, Crawford doesn't want Porter. Well, Crawford, Porter and Crawford and Porter are friends. There was no rush to arms. There was no rush. Nobody on the PBC side was saying when Porter had the WBC welterweight strap. No, there was nobody over there at PBC saying, how come Porter don't fight Crawford? There was none of that. When Porter had the belt. But now that he's lost the belt, it's, it's cool. Yeah, they can fight now. When Porter had the belt, there was no talk about them fighting. No talk about that. But now the Porter doesn't have a belt, then yeah. It's let him fight. But what's in it? What's in it for Crawford? What's in it for Crawford fighting a guy who doesn't have the belt no more? You know, he wants the guy with the belt. And the guy with the belt is Spence. And I'm sure he would fight. Let me have a look. Who else is there? Who else is there on PBC to fight? Is it Pac-Man? Pac-Man's there. You know, would he win? I don't know, but he'd fight him. There's no doubt in my mind that Crawford wants all of that smoke. Boxing Jedi. Hold on. What's going on? Oh, Boxing Jedi, you still here? Yeah? I can see you. I can't hear you though.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What I gotta say about this? Well, I'm
Oh, don't light that cigarette. Don't light that cigarette. There you go. There you go. It's the wrong way around.
Yeah, I'm just because I'm so into this because right now I'm having a little how do you say debate platform on this with the JR the Boxing Junkie. Peace to you.
Okay.
And you see, this is the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna break it down as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, we all got to agree that Sean Porter is the hardest fight that Errol Spence Jr. has ever had in his life.
Yeah.
Okay, that was his hardest fight. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's out the way. Second thing I want to say is, where was Sean Porter when Terrence Bud Crawford asked him and asked anybody else who had the title, like Thurman at the time before Pacquiao, what's up? You guys told me to get a title. I got a title, so what's up? Let's unify. And now all of the sudden, there's a lot of things, a lot of blockades, a lot of stipulations. Okay, no problem. There's a video circulating out there where you've got Bob Arum and you've got Terrence Bud Crawford running down, and I mean running down like Brazilian rainforest drops on Errol Spence Jr. You know what I mean? Telling him, and even Bob Arum told him, you know something, kid. Al, he's very, very smart from keeping you away from Bud. You know what I mean? And then Bud Crawford was basically telling him, yo, talk to. It came to a point that Spence Jr. alluded to saying at the time before he fought him, well, I'm gonna fight Sean Porter and then I'm gonna fight Mikey Garcia, which was now backwards, but you know what I mean? It's to a point that you can see that these guys are basically ducking Terrence Bud Crawford. Now here's the sugar on top with the strawberries and the whipped cream so it can taste good and going down. Okay? What is a boxing promotion doing trying to ban a sanctioned title like the WBO? Because PBC don't want nothing to do with the WBO all of a sudden. Why? Because of Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, Terrence Bud Crawford has been going on a tirade for weeks now. He's even got his brother on there talking and letting everybody know what's up. Let's do this. You know what I mean? But where was Sean Porter? Sean Porter, you've got to wait, my man. You know what I mean? Because when he asked you, you said, I'm going this way. So now he's telling you, I'm going that way. You know what I mean? A lot of questions are like, there are a lot of people that he can fight over at Top Rank. Why isn't he fighting them? First of all, that's all he's going to be able to fight, like the machine he just fought, and other contenders that are going to be on the Top Rank roster for the moment to keep him entitled, you know, how do you say, title defense, because that's the only thing that's out there, unless other promoters want to throw their fighters in there for contention if they're on the ranking system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But PBC is totally, they are across the street. Top Rank is never across the street. Top Rank just finished producing a fight that's going to be held Fight of the Year, which is Inu and Donaire. Yeah. And there are other classics as well, way before that we can actually sit down and debate about. So people need to respect Bob Arum. He is still the living genius at this point, doing things doing all he can to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Bud wants all the smoke. He's turning himself into the carbon monoxide machine. He wants it, but these guys are making excuses. That's my take on that.
Yeah, making excuses, full of excuses. Phil Walker up in the building.
Yo, what's up? What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's happening, Phil?
So look, man, I'm gonna be quick on this tape right here.
Yeah.
As far as I'm gonna start with Sean Porter. Okay. Now this is my deal right here. With Sean Porter, I personally don't think Sean Porter should get the fight with Bud. Okay. For one, just because to me, Sean Porter just seems like an opportunist, right? I think Sean Porter has probably had more title shots than any other welterweight in the division. Okay. He's had the belts, lost the belts, had the belts again, lost the belts. Look, this is my deal right here. If Terrence Crawford is going to take a voluntary fight from somebody on what they consider to be the other side of the street, which is PBC, I think he needs to fight Ugas, okay? Because he has worked his way up to almost a mandatory spot, okay,
Yeah.
with WBC.
Yeah.
Okay. Then on top of that, he is a good fighter, but he's one of those kind of fighters that is only going to get a shot when he actually has to grind for it. And that's what he's been doing. Okay. He arguably beat Sean Porter, in some people's eyes. It was a close fight, no matter no matter who you had winning the fight, of course. So I think if you're going to take a voluntary fight, I think give it to somebody that, you know, is not necessarily going to get that opportunity unless he gets in a mandatory spot, right? Okay. So to me, that 86 is Sean Porter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sean Porter, oh, you got a belt, I fight you. Oh, you got a belt, okay, I fight you. You got a belt, I fight you. I mean, I personally don't really, you know, I don't really care for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Sean Porter is always going to give you a good fight, no matter what. So I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking that aspect away from him, because he's always going to come to fight. He's always going to be in shape. And he's always, most of the time, going to give you the hardest fight of your career, because the style and manner in which he fights in. Okay. Right. Now, on to Errol Spence Jr. Okay. Terrence Crawford has made it known that he does want to fight Errol Spence. He has also made it known that he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. He also has made it known that he wants to fight Keith Thurman. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the deal right here. We all know right now Spence is kind of just in limbo because of the injury, of course, right? Yeah. So we know that we're not going to get that fight right away, right? You understand what I'm saying? Of course, even Spence probably wants to see how he looks when he comes back in the summertime before he decides he wants to take a Terrence Crawford fight. I think everybody would agree to that, but that's the fight that everyone's calling for. But we need to be realistic as fans and people who love the sport. Why call for that particular fight? We know we're not going to get that because we don't know how Spence is going to be coming off his accident. Okay. Yeah. Let's just be realistic about that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now when you look at the rest of the division, you still have Danny Garcia up, right? You still have Keith Thurman, and you still have Manny Pacquiao, who's with PBC. Okay. Now, from my understanding, and I didn't know this, I made a mistake about this on somebody else's chat, that ESPN actually made a direct offer for Keith Thurman to fight Terrence Crawford exclusively. Okay. But at that particular time, Keith Thurman was in negotiations with Pacquiao. Okay. Either you fight Bud Crawford or you fight Pacquiao. That's an easy decision. Not faulting Keith Thurman for that. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that lets you know that Bud Crawford is trying to get fights with individuals on the PBC side, is my point. Okay. And not just any fights, a fight with a credible welterweight, some who at that particular time considered to be the cream of the crop, top tier in Keith Thurman. Okay.
Cool. Yep.
So that's a check mark right there. Okay. Now on to Manny Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford has been calling out Manny Pacquiao since I can remember. Since before he's moved up to 140, he's been saying Pacquiao's been ducking him. So at the end of the day, they both was on the same side of the street, technically speaking. Okay, at one point in time, that fight didn't happen. Now, Manny Pacquiao is with PBC, and guess what? He only has one fight left. Okay, one fight left on the PBC, underneath PBC's banner. Whether he renews his situation, who knows? But if the fight didn't happen when they were on the same team, that Manny Pacquiao fight is not going to happen. So you can X Spence out, you can X Manny Pacquiao out. Okay, you can X Keith Thurman out because he actually is healing from a broken hand, which always seems like Thurman's healing from something. So now the only two fighters that are on the PBC side that's what I consider to be credible right now would be Sean Porter and Ugas. Okay, and I've
Mhm.
already expressed myself about how I feel as though if you're going to take a voluntary fight Ugas. Okay, Sean Porter has had plenty of opportunities. Okay, to pick up straps and whatnot. This guy has had several title fights. He's been in several title fights. Okay, now, but if you're looking at it from Bob Arum's perspective, okay, Ugas is not going to sell. Okay, it's not going to sell like a Sean Porter will. Okay,
Mhm.
so but I think the fight will be equally competitive because Ugas can box pretty well. Okay,
Yeah, I would like to see that one too, man. That's a
yeah,
good call. That's a good call. I like to see that.
yeah,
Mm.
Ugas can box pretty well, So I think you would get the same kind of entertainment as far as the fight aspect goes, but as far as a financial and a financial aspect, I think Sean Porter will of course be the fight that sells. That's my 2 cents on it. But Terrence Crawford is 100% right now on Errol Spence's line. Okay,
Mm.
you can see the desire. He wants to fight. He's tired of people coming on YouTube talking trash about him, saying that he don't want to fight. I've always said he's wanted to fight, but I didn't sense that. I didn't have that sense of urgency. After
Mhm.
these mass amounts of tweets that Terrence Crawford has put out today, he's not playing any games. He wants all the smoke. He wants Errol Spence, of course, when he heals up properly. And guess what? He wants other guys that falls underneath the PBC banner. We'll see. I don't know how that whole situation went with him and Sean Porter when he said he wasn't interested, whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, guess what? He wants Errol Spence. Errol Spence has 2 belts. Manny Pacquiao has 1 belt. He wants Manny Pacquiao. Those are 2 fights that can be made.
Yeah.
But guess what? We don't know if they will be made. But right now, at this very moment, Bud Crawford is calling for both of those fights, and you have to show him love from that aspect. I have been very critical of Bud Crawford, but today he has convinced me that he wants all the smoke from the PBC side. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. Yeah. So that's another one who is convinced that Crawford wants all of that PBC smoke. And over to the Watcher.
Wow. Just recently I've picked up on this whole topic or conversation. Who in their right mind thinks that Crawford does not want to fight Errol Spence? Errol Spence is good, but he comes across to me as a bit of a pretender sometimes. I mean, he seems a bit manufactured. He seems a bit, Crawford is real. That guy got shot in the head and he drove himself to hospital. You think Crawford's going to be scared of some delinquent who was drink driving and crashed his car?
Mm.
And Crawford had a good, tough fight with that Kafalaskis guy, right? And he arguably got dropped in that fight. And he came back and he used that monster uppercut on him. Crawford will fight anyone when it's set to him. Spence really has only had Porter and Mikey Garcia, who was a lightweight, who moved up to welterweight. That's not a great, resume to have, and that Porter fight was very close. Without the knockdown, in my eyes, it's a draw, or if they give Porter another round, he might win.
Mhm.
So Spence is being disrespectful after the fight to Porter. You can't get a good gauge on Spence. Crawford's at least consistent. Before Pacquiao fought Jeff Horn, he was calling for Pacquiao. He wanted that. He was calling for Spence. He was with Spence face to face, like behind the stage or whatever, the stadium.
Yeah.
He wants to fight. All this BS politics. Look, I reckon Al Heyman secretly would like Crawford under his banner. I actually think Al Heyman thinks Crawford is better than Spence.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's that shifty WBO thing going on where they're not promoting it.
Yeah.
I reckon Al really wants Crawford. I really do think that. I really truly think he thinks that Spence isn't as good as Crawford. And I don't hate Spence, but I dislike his actions outside the ring.
Yeah.
He's not as consistent now. He's not the same now as before, in my opinion. That crash took something out, took a couple miles off him. Crawford, consistent. He lives the life. Errol Spence does not. As for Sean Porter, like the other guy said, I forgot his name, not Jedi, the other one that just came in. But
Walker.
Phil Walker. Yeah. About Porter being an opportunist. He is. I mean, you know, he got the IBF. Then he had to defend it against Kell Brook. He then fought Danny for the WBC. He then fought Spence for unification. He fought Thurman for the WBA. Porter isn't afraid of anyone, but my thing is I keep remembering what he said. He said he'll never fight Crawford. It was in an interview. That's a beautiful dog, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Porter gives anyone a tough fight. Anyone, even Crawford. I'd love to see how Crawford would deal with that pressure. You know, see if he uses those check hooks and those uppercuts. It'd be such a good stylistic matchup. But I'm not so sure if Porter. I don't know. It's the timing of when people say things. 1 minute they're saying they'll never fight each other, and the next minute they want someone. For me, though, the real interesting guy in the division is Yordenis Ugas, that Cuban guy. That, for me, is the dark horse of the division. He can box.
Yeah.
He can punch. He's got a lot of amateur experience. He's tough. Yes, he lost to Sean Porter, but look, that was a close fight. It was a very close fight. He's got size as well. People talk about Spence being a big welterweight. Ugas is long as hell. That's a big guy. He reminds me a bit of Erislandy Lara, that long physique, those long arms, that brilliant jab, that boxing. That is a hard fight for anyone. And honestly, I don't hear Spence talking about Ugas. I've never heard Spence mention Ugas, ever. Never heard it. Crawford, would he want that fight? I reckon he'd want that fight easily. He'll fight anyone. So for me, I don't think that Crawford is avoiding Spence. I think Spence is trying to talk about the politics too much. And Crawford's just a bit annoyed. And I think Crawford shouldn't really entertain Spence with that talk. I think he should kind of be like, you know, let's stop talk. Let whoever we fight next, we fight. But let's not talk about fighting each other when, you know, nothing's really being done to even make the fight. It's all good saying you want the fight, but you got to negotiate. You got to get all things done and prove yourself. So, yeah.
Yes.
I think that Crawford will fight anyone, and he will fight Spence.
If the PBC head honchos permit it, and I don't see the PBC head honchos permitting such a maneuver. And let's not get it twisted. I like Spence. I would probably say that I prefer Spence's style to Crawford. However, I do think that Crawford is the more skilled of the two. And if they were to meet, as much as I like Spence, you know, in spite of the political situation over there at PBC where he is, despite that, I can't refute the notion that I would have Crawford as the favorite to win that one. As much as I like Spence's attacking style, I think Crawford is the more skilled of the two. And so I understand why Al Heyman, PBC, they're putting a block on that fight. They're putting up smoke signals. They're putting up smoke screens. They're trying to make it look like something that it isn't. Now they're trying to besmirch Crawford's name. But I want to go around the panel. Okay, Phil Walker, You're a promoter now. You're a manager stroke promoter now. You got a guy under your wing. You've gotten to championship level, but there's another guy across the road who you think could beat him. The other guy's calling out his name. You're this guy. You're the other guy's promoter. Your guy is a champion, but you think the other champ across the road will beat him. How do you handle the situation? What you gonna what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, I mean, in this situation, if I'm the promoter and I just so I guess in this case I'm Bob Arum, man.
Yeah.
And the other guys over there, he's
No,
I guess he's gonna be
your PBC. Your PBC. You yeah. You're Al Heyman. You're Al Heyman.
Okay, well look, if I'm Al, okay, and I think the other guy across the way could possibly beat my fighter, what I do is, honestly, I would probably set. Okay, this is what I do. I'd send one of my non-title holder fighters over to fight the other guy, and then I say, "Hey, look, I send one of my non-title holders, my best non-title holder, non-title holder. I send him over to fight that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I do.
Okay, Phil, you're cracking up.
There, come back to me. Come back to me.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. So the boxing Jedi. You got a guy. You're a promoter now. You've got a guy. You've got him to championship level. He's a champion. He's got a belt. But there's a guy across the road who's more seasoned, who some say has got more skill. You can see for yourself. You probably think the guy across the road's got more skill. And in your heart of hearts, you think the guy across the road would beat your guy, might beat your guy. There's a strong possibility. You're the promoter. What do you do? Do you make the match or do you duck the other guy?
Well, I say it like this. First, I would look at what the fans want, what the boxing fans want. If the boxing fans are asking for that, then it's good for business. Then I'm going to ask my fighter, do you want this fight? And if this fighter says, yes, make this fight, then I'm going to make this fight. Why? Because I work for him. That's a lot of things that people are not getting straight. A promoter works for a fighter. So when you hear a fighter talking about talk to my promoter, he's the one making the no. Okay. I would have him fight that guy across the street simply because number one, it's good for his legacy. Number two, it's good for business. And number three, I mean, you've got to go on the battle of attrition, man. You know, sooner or later, it's going to be another tough one. And what are you going to do? Not put your man to fight him? So what makes sense here is to actually box, to do the sport of boxing and make that fight. Once you make that fight with the guy across the street who is more skilled than my fighter, and I put my fighter in front of him, knowing that my fighter can actually hang with this guy. If I let it happen, it's all around. It's going to cover all grounds as to it being good for the sport.
Good for the sport, but is it good for your pocket when your guy has no belt no more? Is it good for your pocket, the boxing Jedi, when your guy loses?
Well, I mean, who are we talking in the case of? In the case of Spence and Crawford?
Well, we're looking at Spence and Crawford. You know, Crawford is the acknowledged more seasoned guy.
Right.
I think a lot of people say he overall has the greater skills overall. And Spence, as good and as tough and as attacking as he is, I think many, certainly speaking for myself,
right.
Many see him as the lesser of the two. I think most people would have Crawford as the favorite.
Yeah.
So you would be in Al Heyman's shoes.
Right, and I would put my fighter to fight him, and it like I said, it would definitely be good for business because at the same time you're going to unify them. See, you have the WBO, and then you have the WBC and the IBF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can put them together here. You know what I mean? Have a three title unification bout here. See who can walk away with the prizes. You know what I mean? Go home with the girls.
Did you say 3 fight? Did you say
No. A three title.
Okay, yeah.
A three title fight. You know what I'm saying? You get to go home with the 3 girls. You know what I mean?
Rematch clause?
Yeah, a rematch clause. I'd give him, of course. It's only the right thing to do. I don't know about a third fight, but I know there would be a second one because it's, you have to return the favor. It's good for the sport. Besides, if the first fight was a barn burner and people liked it, you got to give them the second one.
Yeah. So okay. So the watcher.
Yeah, I'm here.
You need to get a picture up, my friend. You're just a blank space right there. It's just a blank.
No, my camera's all messed up.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
You're here. That's the main thing. So you're the manager. You're the promoter of one guy. The other guy is more skilled than your guy, more seasoned. The next is a lineal at a lighter division. There's a perception that your guy loses to the other guy. You're the promoter of the guy who many people feel will lose. What do? Do you make the fight? Do you make your guy fight another champion that you think is going to beat your champion, or do you duck?
I make the damn fight. You know why? Because it doesn't matter what I think. I'm not the one in there fighting. My fighter's fighting. And maybe my fighter's got something that I don't know about, that I haven't seen yet. Maybe my fighter has beaten all these guys, but he's got another layer for this particular fight. He's got something, that I haven't seen in the fights yet.
You have
maybe I'll be shitting bricks if the fight happens. I'll be scared if my guy loses.
Yeah.
Make the fight for legacy. Legacy. Yeah, look, pocket and all that, all right, it is important at times, but when you're at that level, your pocket is good. Your pocket is already good. It will be all right after the fight if you lose.
Can I butt in there for a second?
Yep.
Remember what you're going to say, though. Remember what you're going to say, and then come back in. Who have I lost? I think I lost Phil. Okay, so Richard Branson. You know what Richard Branson is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard Branson, the head honcho, the Virgin Records, Airlines, whatever he's doing, balloons, hot air balloons, whatever. They once said to him, do you ever get to a point where you think to yourself, well, I've got enough money now? And Richard Branson said, well, no, because, for example, when I was buying Virgin Airlines, whatever it was called before it was Virgin, I had to go to the bank to get a loan. But if I had had more money, I probably wouldn't have had to go to the bank. So I'm just saying that in response to what you just said about I've already got money. When you got money, you want more money. And when you got more money, you want more money on top of that. But carry on. I just wanted to add that in there. Carry on. So in other words, you can never have too much, but carry on. And furthermore, these guys, they've touched a couple million in their career, a couple of fights here and there. But I don't think these champions here are bathing in millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. So I think they're just touching the M's now. They're just touching a couple M's here, couple M's there. And once you touch a couple of M's, you want to touch a couple M's more. But carry on. I just wanted to add that.
I agree. But look, I don't actually know.
What's at stake? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what's at stake, the watcher. You just touched a couple of M's. You maybe touched 25% of every M that he's touched. But you can't tell me you're not looking at your bottom line too. You just bought a new house with a pool on the Golden Coast.
The Golden Coast. Not even how you say it. The Gold Coast.
The Golden Coast. You know it. You know. Oh, the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
You know where that is.
I do.
You just bought your first house there on the Gold Coast.
Oh boy. Yeah, with all the bloody
As a matter of fact, you haven't even bought the house. You've paid 30%. You paid a 30% deposit, and you're 50% of the way into the mortgage. You're 50% in. You know, you've got a nice lady. You know, she doesn't have to model anymore, you know, because you're a big earner. So she's quit a modeling career. It's on you, the watcher. You're only 50% into the mortgage on the house, on the beach, on the coast, on the Gold Coast.
What a life that sounds like.
If you slip up, my friend, then you're heading back to where you came from.
Well, obviously, looking at if my fighter was to lose, the pocket will go down. Yes, but obviously, I'd have some contingencies in place. You make great points. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Think very wisely, the watcher. Choose very wise. What I'm asking you is, do you have your fighter take a couple of lesser fights so you can pay off the mortgage 100%? Pay off. You're debt free now. If your fighter takes a couple of lesser fights, you're debt free. You can pay off the mortgage on the lesser fights and then go to the biggie.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
One, not two.
Okay.
Because the big fight got to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Yeah. So give me in a nutshell. There's money involved. There's a house on the Gold Coast involved. Your girl is not modeling anymore. You don't have to have her go back to work.
I'm telling you, man. I put my fighter in. I said it.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Mr.
Yeah, Phil Walker.
All right. Look.
Coming back in. You bought a big house. You bought a big house.
I'm going to make this simple.
You're doing it MC Hammer style. You're doing it Evander Holyfield style. Remember what happened to those guys? You've got a big house now. The Lambo is in the triple garage. There's a lot riding on this. Phil, not just for your fighter, but for your personal income.
Yup, you got ADT on every square inch of the house.
Come in with it, Phil.
All right, man. Check this out. What I'm going to do is I am sending my best non-title holder over to fight the other guy. Okay. Now, as a promoter or somebody that's managing these guys, I'm doing that because, again, I'm managing a company, not just one specific fighter, right? So I got to have the fighter as well as the company's interest in the back of my head, okay? All right? By sending your best fighter over there, you have an opportunity to collect an additional belt, possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you get this one, now you got all four. Now you got exactly what you want. You got your circuit. You got all your guys can fight one another, and everybody eats very, very handsomely, right? Everybody gets big belly, right? So that's looking at it from the aspect of a company man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, depending on how the fight go, I may send my main guy over there to fight you next, depending on what kind of status or caliber of fighter you beat, right? So if you send such as somebody like a Danny Garcia over there, right? And Danny Garcia has an opportunity to win. He could possibly beat Terrence Crawford, right? He could possibly win. He can bring the belt back to the house, right? Mm-hmm. But if Terrence Crawford wins and wins convincingly, now you've peaked. Your interest, the interest now is peaked out, right? Mm-hmm. Peaked out. Okay. Then you say, okay, let my fighter get a little couple of dollars up underneath his belt, a couple more 100,000, million, whatever you get per fight. Okay. And then now you have that mega fight after that. That way you cover all your bases. You get another opportunity to see what this guy has against a high caliber fight, a high caliber fighter. Okay. you create an opportunity to possibly bring a belt back to your side of the street. And then on top of that, guess what? You're building suspense, but not so much suspense that it makes the fans aggravated. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that situation right there, to me, is the most logical. If I'm a promoter, that's how I would handle my business.
Yeah. So, it's a combination of economics and giving the fans what they want. Me personally, yeah, I'm talking to the other side. And in the meantime, I'm looking to maximize my fighters' income before we get to D-Day. Before we get to the matchup, because I'm looking to put him in fights that will make income and also accelerate his learning, his skill set. I'm preparing him for that guy. I'm looking for tricky guys where he might not look the greatest, but I know that his skills are on the upswing. But eventually, after a couple of fights, after 2 or so fights, then they have to meet. And you never know. The fighter sometimes you think is going to win loses, and the fighter you think is going to lose wins. So you never know. It's boxing. Who thought that Andy Ruiz was going to do what he did the first time? And then who thought that Andy Ruiz was going to do what he did the second time? So it's boxing. You don't know what's going to happen, but ultimately, I'm pragmatic, man. I know that every man's got bills. I know that every man in reality is going to try and set himself up well before D-Day. You know what I'm saying? You got to get all your ducks in a row. Make sure your economics are in place before D-Day. But D-Day has to come, that day of reckoning, when you truly find out who is the best out there in the division. That day has to come when you find out who's the best, bro. That day must come. Let me just finish off with a couple of these comments, and then we just touch on very briefly the last thing that'll take us up to 2.5 hours, and that will be fine. So we're going to touch on the last thing for 15 minutes. Yeah, smash that like button, people. I just like to say we have all denominations. We have all denominations over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, from all angles, all sides of the boxing political spectrum. Everybody's welcome in here. Some funny comments come about as a result of that. I know Wild Soul is LDBC in the soul, and it comes with some very interesting comments. Not all of you will agree with them, but they do add a flavor to the proceedings. Okay, Marla. In the 90s, rival promoters made the big fights happen. No excuses. The promoter these days are dragging boxing down 100%. Yeah, the fights have to be made. If you're a proper promoter, you will have guys coming up underneath. If you lose a belt, you have a guy coming up to try and regain the belt. That's how the promoters did it in the 90s. And yeah, you got to make the fights at the end of the day. You got to make the fights. I think it's the PBC mainly. They are most at threat after losing millions. Yeah, I agree with that. PBC is dragging boxing down. Yep, very shifty. I agree. And we have a new panelist by the name of Vincent Grant. Vincent Grant, how do you do? Vincent Grant, you're on mute. Vincent, you're on mute. Vincent. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the last thing. It's gonna be a quick thing. Vincent Grant has unmuted himself. How do you do, Vincent Grant? How are you?
I'm well.
You good, yeah?
Yeah. Thank you for the invite. Yeah.
Okay, Vincent, you're very low on the volume. Very, very low. Very, very low. and you got some background noise there. Sounds like you're in the engine room of a steamship. What's going on?
Okay, let me go back on mute and I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna just touch on this last thing now. This is gonna bring us to the end of the show. We got about 10 minutes to kill this one. Let me find it. Is this it? Yeah, it's it. Let me share this. Let me share my screen. Boom. Okay, so last thing. Joshua, I'll stand as champion even if I have to give up one. All right, IBO, IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO, heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua is not overly concerned with the scenario of having to drop one of his world titles in the right scenario. Last month in Saudi Arabia, we know what happened last month. He beat Ruiz, Andreas the Punch Ruiz. Now Joshua has 2 mandatory defense obligations on the table. The IBF have ordered him to face Kubrat Pulev, and the WBO have ordered him to face Alexander Usyk. At the moment, Pulev is the forerunner. I've not done this one before. Seems familiar. But I couldn't have done. What's the date on this? It is Saturday the 4th. Okay, this is the first show since then, but it seems like I'm having deja vu. Nevertheless, let's press on. At the moment, Pulev is the forerunner to face Joshua, which means Usyk would receive some step-aside funds with another fight to come in the meantime. Frank Warren, promoter for Tyson Fury, believes Joshua should avoid both mandatory defenses and instead sit on the shelf to face the winner of... I'm pretty sure I've done this there. I'm having deja vu. Frank Warren says Joshua should sit on the fence and wait for the winner of the rematch between Fury and Deontay Wilder. Joshua has no issue with dropping a belt if securing a major fight is the goal. I always said, the belts do not represent me. I will stand as a champion even if I have to give up one. Joshua told Sky Sports it would give me an opportunity to face another world champion. If it would give me the opportunity to face another world champion, I will have beaten 4 world champions on my record. If I give up a belt, it creates more history and entertainment. If I have to, I'll give it away, but I'll get it back again. However, Warren also cautions that Wilder Fury would bring about a summer trilogy regardless of the winner. What? Every time I hear one of these guys talk, one of these promoters talk, either Warren or Arum say something different. What's he saying now? Warren cautioned that Wilder Fury would bring about a summer trilogy regardless of the winner. What the hell? Didn't even see that. Let me see what he says. Tyson is going back in the ring with Wilder on February the 22nd, Warren told TalkSport. And they will fight again irrespective of who wins in the summer. So that at the moment is all tied up. What a load of crapola. What a load of crapola. What a load of crapola. Every time I hear what either promoter say, first of all, the winner gets to decide. No, first of all, the loser of Fury Wilder 2 gets to decide if there's a trilogy. Then we hear that from Bob, that's from Warren. Then we hear from Arum that the winner of that second fight gets to choose whether there's a trilogy. Now we're hearing from Arum a third thing, which is that regardless of who wins or loses, there's going to be a third fight. What a total and utter load of poo-poo. The Boxing Jedi.
Man, I'll tell you like this. I don't understand exactly why he has to give a title up, but the man just got them back, and these guys are so anxious to join. And these guys, as to the sanctioning bodies, are so eager to jump in bed with these dirty politics just to break these titles up. And that's exactly what I see here. Because, you give me another case scenario where we've seen this. I mean, you know, you got two major title defenses. You have one forerunner, right? One who's a forefront runner. So if you go to defend that, you lose the other one. How is that? See, how can you put pressure on a champion who has these titles, and you guys know it because you know that you're all unified now, and defend and do these voluntary. I mean, these are mandatories. You know what I mean? One thing I've said, and I just want to address somebody real fast, which is Wild Soul 88. You know, Deontay Wilder will always be known as the voluntary champ. Bottom line. You know what I mean? That's all I want to say about that. You know, and we've already broken down the resumes. It's just to the point that for AJ to give up a title to fight to have a big money. I mean, what's going on here? What are they compartmentalizing things now? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know, you got a title, but now if you want the money, you got to drop the title. Well, from what I understand that your work ethic, right? Your work ethic with your hands is exactly what brought you the money. So now, what's going on? You know, that's
yeah.
You know.
So Joshua may have to drop a belt. May or may not. We got Usyk. We got Usyk for the W. I think he's going to take Pulev. Then that leaves the WBO, and that's Usyk, who's the WBO mandatory. Pulev is the IBF. So if he does have to drop a belt, it will most likely be the WBO belt. But Usyk is a matchroom fighter, so they can set up a matchroom fight between somebody like what's his name, Chisora. They're looking at Chisora. So if he drops a belt, it's more likely the WBO. Usyk will fight Chisora for that belt, or maybe even Joseph Parker. But Chisora looks to be the front runner for that. And the third part of that thing, the triple part of that thing, is Eddie Hearn. I mean Frank Warren talking about. There's definitely going to be a trilogy in the summer. Phil Walker. It's a triple header.
Look, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let me tell you something. That trilogy, I mean, to me, the only way a trilogy would be acceptable in the eyes of some fans is if the title holder lost and he demanded a immediate rematch. Okay? Now, that being said, do I want to see a trilogy? Absolutely not. Okay? That's just me. All right? Whoever wins. If you guys want to fight one another again down the road, that's fine, but we need to get some different kind of action in between. Okay?
Thank you. Yes.
So, with that being said, let me tell you something. I got a different take on it as far as these sanctioned bodies want to break these belts up. I don't think they want to break them up. I'm gonna tell you why. You got to think about it. These sanctioned bodies get a percentage of these fights. Okay, when they have these fights. I mean, now I ain't a rocket scientist, though. I'm not a economic genius or anything like this. But I can tell you one thing: if I'm a sanctioning body and I look at the landscape of the heavyweight division and I start counting, ducats or coins or strophanies or whatever people call it these days, I'm gonna say, hey, let's try to keep these belts over here with Anthony Joshua, and if not with Anthony Joshua, let's try to keep him within the matchroom, the matchroom, the zone umbrella. Okay, because at the end of the day, those guys are financially producing the most money amongst the heavyweights currently. Okay, so with that being said, if they do break them up, Usyk, okay, that's not a bad option for the belt to go to, because Usyk can make several good fights, and stay underneath the matchroom, the zone banner. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think. I think they want the fight. I think they want the belts to stay with AJ though, actually. Okay, because let's be honest about this. Pulev is not going to beat Anthony Joshua. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I
No.
don't think Usyk is going to beat Anthony Joshua.
Well,
Okay,
big
I don't
question.
even know if Usyk is going to get past Derek Chisora. That's so. I'm just being honest. I mean, he's unproven at this weight class. Okay, so you can talk about all the skill you want to, but a lot of people talk about resumes and whatnot. But when you really just break it down, I'm gonna go with the proven guy over the unproven guy every single time. That's just me. Okay,
Yeah.
not saying that the potential's not there. I'm just putting my money with what I know versus the unknown. You understand what I'm saying? So, the belts, I think they want the belts to stay with Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
As far as the third part of the question was, so I answered the belts, I answered the trilogy.
Frank Warren's talking about there's definitely going to be a trilogy fight, even though we've been given the impression that the third fight is optional. One promoter says the loser is gonna decide whether to activate the third fight or not. The other promoter said the winner will decide whether to activate the third fight or not. Now Frank Warren's coming back and saying, well, there's gonna be a third fight anyway. It's as muddy as ditch water.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a little confusion is probably intentionally inserted into this whole scenario, right? Because at the end of the day, with a little bit of confusion, if the shizzle hits the fan, you can go, several different ways with this. It may be a fourth or fifth scenario they hadn't even brought up yet in regards to this. You understand what I'm saying? Well, no, this is what we said right here was this. So I think the confusion is actually intentionally displayed to keep fans not knowing what's going on with that. So they can take any route considering whatever the outcome may be. So I just think it's smoke and mirrors. But one thing I know about Frank Warren, one thing I know about Bob Arum, Frank Warren's never scared to make a fight. He's always, to me, he seems as though he does what's in the best interest of his fighters financially as far as their career. And we know for sure that Bob Arum is going to do whatever makes more sense financially because he's just a greedy son of a bitch. I mean, that's just what it is. And that's my 2 cents.
Yes.
That's right, Philly boy. Yeah. I am a greedy bastard.
Yes. Over to the Watcher.
Yeah, those impressions are hilarious. I love it. Damn, Bob Arum. Damn.
Thank you.
We gotta do whatever we gotta do to make the fight. I've had my CBD oil. I see very clearly age is nothing but a number.
Well, the other day I was sitting down with Manny Pacquiao, and he told me something very special. He said, I'm not coming back.
Oh, man. I don't blame him. So about Joshua and the belts, and the sanctioning bodies. I mean, I talked about the Fury rematch before and then waiting, but with Joshua, he did come out and say like, "Oh, if I'm forced to drop a belt, I'll gladly, fight to get it back." So it's either I believe the WBA and the IBF.
Yeah,
that could potentially be dropped.
No, the IBF WBO.
Oh, WBO. Okay. So Usyk is number 1 in the WBO. Derek Chisora is number 9. So Chisora is at least in that top 10 area.
Yeah.
Pulev obviously unfinished business. Takam replaced him. He's now the mandatory. I believe I read something. This is all at the top of my head, by the way. January 11th, I believe,
Keep
is
going.
when we find out what the decision is with
Yeah.
one of the sanctioning. So we actually find out who Joshua fights probably this month
Mhm.
because of the sanctioning situation.
Mhm.
Either
What date did you just say? What date? January what? The 12th?
12th or 11th,
Okay, cool.
I think. That's what I read anyway
Yeah, that's cool.
online, but you never know with these sanctioning bodies and how it all goes with their mandatories. But look, I'm happy with both those fights. If Joshua fought both those guys this year, I'd have
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to see Wilder, or the winner of Wilder and Fury, I'd like to see fight Joshua because I don't think Pulev beats Joshua. Like, you know, you guys were saying, he's old now and his style is just like it's made for Joshua. Like, you're not going to see Joshua go in there like he did against Ruiz.
Mhm.
He will be patient, but he's going to go in there like a wrecking machine, like when he did in round 5 with Klitschko. He's going to beat that body like African drums. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, he is a killer in there, Joshua. He is. I don't care if he's lost to Ruiz. So what? You got it back.
Got it back.
Yeah.
He's gonna go in there and wreck him. And respect to Pulev, like, you know, I mean, outside the ring, he's done a few freaking shitty things, but he's a good boxer. Okay,
Yeah.
he's solid. His only losses to Klitschko, but I do not see him be. Listen, I'm not overlooking Kubrat Pulev like with Ruiz. Ruiz is just different to Pulev. He's got that X factor. Pulev, he likes to just box. He doesn't really like to actually fight in that pocket. So I see Joshua beating him. Usyk, I'd love that fight. That fight, I don't know if you remember, Raf, but I was saying that reminds me of the Klitschko fight, where you got that European, that big European name coming to Wembley in front of all those people, 90,000.
Yeah.
I love that fight. I'm happy if Joshua does that fight. I'm happy for him to get that fight. I'm happy for Usyk to get that fight. That's a harder fight, but in my opinion, Usyk didn't look great against Chaz Witherspoon. I thought his footwork was good, but I thought everything else was just, you know, so-so. He was quick and everything, but Joshua's just far too big for Usyk. Usyk does not have those hooks like Ruiz does. He will want to try break down Joshua, and it's very hard to break Joshua down. He is a giant of a man. He rivals Tyson Fury's size even. He's giant. So
Who rivals Tyson Fury size?
Joshua, he's not as tall, but he's a unit of a man.
Yeah.
He's huge. But I'm happy for those ones. It's just the way the governing bodies go around with it. Like, I'm telling you, that everyone here thinks there's a bit of corruption within these things. There is. There just is. You can't deny it. So
boxing is very filthy. It's very filthy.
Yeah. Like
Jedi got me again. Jedi got me again. I was looking around for Mike Tyson.
Yeah. But, what do you call it? Wilder Fury winner. Again, love to see him face Joshua because Joshua's not losing this year. And I hope I'm right in saying that. I'm not up for another damn shock. I'm not up for it. That loss took my soul. I was like, damn. You got it back. That's what's important.
Yeah.
One guy handled defeat better than the guy that handled success.
Damn.
What about Joshua?
Damn.
So,
damn.
I'm just wanting Joshua to do well this year, and I'm wanting that Wilder Fury chapter to close this year.
Oh
it
my
must.
It needs to come to an end. It needs to come to an end in February. I have no interest. I told you.
It really does. It really does.
I told you when I found out there was a trilogy. Listen, my interest in Wilder Fury ends after February the 22nd.
Exactly. Listen. You know what bothers me the most? When Wilder came out and said that he could beat me in 86.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
That was wrong.
That's a lie. It's a big lie, guys. It's ludicrous.
You shouldn't have said that.
It's totally ludicrous.
Spinal.
I don't believe it. It's spinal. It's spinal.
It's spinal. Vincent Grant up in the building. Let's see if Vincent Grant's come out of the engine room. Damn.
How am I doing?
You're not doing too good, bro. But
You sound like you're on the love boat.
you sound like you're on the love boat, bro. Sound like you're on the love boat in the engine room.
Okay, well, bro, this is the first time I've done anything like
But
this.
you know what? You know what? Say, come in and say a few words. Give your opinions, bro, while you're on here.
Yeah. Just bring the mic closer to you. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, it's as close as it's going to get.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, bro. Just
Okay.
give your opinions on the shizzle.
Well, from what I've gathered is that you're talking about Crawford, you're talking about Fury and Wilder
Yeah, man.
rematch.
Yeah, man. Just go for it.
No, I personally think Fury is far more experienced than Wilder.
Yeah.
A lot has been said about Wilder, and this is one of the main reasons why I'm calling in today because
Yeah.
I don't think the so-called experts are being very fair,
Okay.
with the analysis,
Yeah.
of Wilder,
Okay.
because basically just listening to the conversation today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you have actually said to me as let's say a follower of boxing, whether I be a hardcore or a casual,
Yeah.
is that Wilder is actually a novice
Okay.
because he lacks experience.
Yeah.
Because if he's only fought
40
two
guys.
top 10, two top 10 fighters
Yeah.
in 40 odd fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that most of the greats, they had to fight against each other to gain not only the confidence but the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Joshua is a perfect example of his experience within 2019. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean, he lost in a very bad way. He didn't make any excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went down, he got up, and the referee stopped the fight. Much has been said that he lacked this, he lacked that. Yeah, but the man himself did not make any excuses. He got back in there in the rematch, and he dealt with it like our professional fighter should do.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is how I have seen, a lot of so-called greats.
Yeah.
Prior to this, let's say, generation of fighters. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think Wilder has that same kind of experience. Yes, he does have a puncher's chance. But outside of a puncher's chance, what chance does he have against any of the top heavyweights?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is why I am calling in today, because sitting on the other end of the chat is very frustrating. I cannot really get my point across.
Yeah. Yeah.
So enough respect to everyone that step up.
Yeah.
And are laying down their points of view without bias. They're trying their best to be.
Yeah.
Because this is what boxing is all about. It breeds the man within the man.
Yes. Yes.
Because in the reason why I got involved in boxing in the first place, was as a teenager, there was no father, no uncles, no manly figures around. But when I look to my favorite fighter of all time, Thomas Hitman Hearns,
yes,
he wasn't the best.
No.
But whatever he did once he stepped in that ring, he done it with conviction.
I love Tommy. Tommy.
He was conviction, committed.
Yes.
Yep.
And I can go on to, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the struggle that he had to go through to reach to the point.
That's my fighter, yeah.
Yep. The unwanted champion. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he got there in the end, right?
He got there.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He got to the mountaintop.
No, but he's laid his legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through sheer determination. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
When I'm looking at boxing nowadays, I'm looking for those kind of characters.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't see many. I see one or two trying. And at the top of that particular mountain at this time, as far as I can see, because I'm like in my 50s, so I've been out there a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't been consistently in watching the sport over the years because I got, very frustrated with it many years ago, and I just went off and took care of my family. But Floyd brought me back into the sport.
Yes.
Because I walked away when he was just rising. And, I never heard of this guy. I was really shocked. So I said, let me take a look, and I came across another world.
Yeah.
A different breed of fighters. I stuck around, and Rafi pops up, this one pops up, YouTube pops up.
Yeah. Yeah.
This brethren here in the background pops up. The Jedi. Respect. But I mean, it's sharing opinions, and I appreciate that fact. But when it comes to Deontay Wilder, I have a problem. I seriously have a problem. Because he seems to be trying to get into legacy and greatness through the back door.
That's the quote. That's the quote.
Well, I can only speak what I feel. It's no disrespect to the brother, because I said Floyd brought me back into the sport, and one of the drawing fights that drew me a lot closer to YouTube was when he was clashing with Stavern in the first fight. Never seen none of these guys before. I'm saying, Jesus Christ, this guy's tough. Normally these guys are clumsy and clunky, but this guy's supposed to be some fantastic. Let me take a look. I was very impressed with Wilder.
Yeah.
Because the determination that he showed in that fight, because that wasn't an easy fight.
Against Fury.
No. The first fight against Stavern when he won the title.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what led me to follow his career.
Yeah.
And by the time he got to Fury, I was very disappointed with the individual.
Yeah.
And now it's got to Fury. I really think that I think I can call myself a fan.
Yeah.
I think he is a novice.
He's a what? Novice.
Novice.
Relative novice in the top echelons of the game. He's a relative novice. And
he stands a puncher's chance against literally everyone.
He does.
We cannot deny that. But outside of that, what else does he possess?
Yeah. Carry on.
So against a fighter like Fury, because Fury is not an ordinary individual. I mean, the Americans don't see Fury the way we see him. Fury is a student of the sport.
He's a student of the sport, no doubt.
Yes. And you see, basically, I view Fury as an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
He needs that adrenaline to get him going. He couldn't clash with Joshua when he came back off his bench. Because that's what the gypsies call it, when you go in the tirade, the bench.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to come back. He was surprised.
Yeah.
It wasn't a surprise to myself, because these guys do these things, but enough respect to him because he was true to the sport.
Bring it back.
Everything you're saying is good. We're just smiling at Wild Soul. Wild Soul is a crazy soul.
What the hell? What is this? What is this? Red Glove Militant. Look what's
Long live the great and mighty Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And
look at this.
See.
Oh my God.
He's a funny guy. Wild Soul is a funny guy. You know what? But he's a regular over here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. You know what else? He smashes the like button. You know what else?
He's special.
He views and comments on the videos. So at the end of the day, I actually welcome divergent opinions. I welcome. I think he's crazy? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I still appreciate when the LDBC come to Raphael Dawkins Radio and they say some interesting things. I appreciate that nonetheless. And you know what, guys? I think, damn. Who's gone? Who was gone? Oh no, I keep on forgetting the watcher. is invisible on the screen. So there's like 5 of us.
he looks like he's not there.
It looks like there's nobody there. Vincent, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Next time you come, my friend, if you're in a quieter location, that will be better for the sound quality. But yes, solid first time on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. I appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
Respect.
Vincent.
Yes.
Okay, so if you mute yourself now, Vincent, so we kill the background noise, that's much appreciated. Guys, it's 2 hours and 49 minutes, 2 hours and 50 minutes. I tried to keep them sub 2:30 to keep it nice and precise and sharp. But it's all good. You know, the conversation's flowing. I got a private message. Okie dokie. I see you. The watcher from Australia has gone out now, probably hitting that surf. What time is it over here? So what time is it over there? So it's afternoon time over there. Yeah. Leighton Evelyn says it's a great call, brother. Wild Soul says, Flop Squad. Yeah, always good to have you over here. Whether you sound a little bit crazy or not. You certainly stir up the pot. Red Glove Militant says, let's do a 5-hour show one day. Red Glove Militant, are you forgetting we did a 6-hour show? Are you forgetting the 6-hour show? The Jack Group show was a 6-hour show. Don't you forget when H Money came over here and that was a 5-hour show? I think Boxing Jedi was on the line. I think I never had so many panelists after that call from H Money. So we've done it in the past, bro. And maybe I'll do a special. You know, it's the new year now. It's 2020. And I'm going to do a best of 2019 with the callers in, the controversy we've had over here and controversy everywhere, no doubt. So I'm going to do a best of compilation. I might put it out in pieces, big chunks or half-hour pieces. Yeah. Expect some half-hour best of 2019 on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. You know, somebody paid me a big compliment. I have to do a 5-hour show. Somebody paid me a big compliment today. Another channel went over and left a comment on a piece they did. And I said, yo, bro, you're taking the shizzle out of context. You know, that's all I said. I wasn't attacking the man. I wasn't attacking his mother. I wasn't attacking his household, his family, his car. I just said, yo, I think you're taking this out of context, bro. Man went ham. Man said, you know, yeah. Get back over to your channel with your weird videos. And you know something? That's one of the biggest compliments. Weird videos. Your videos are weird. That's one of the biggest compliments I have ever had. To somebody say my videos are weird. Do you know how good that made me feel? You know why? Because I ain't no cookie cutter. I don't want to be like the next man. I want every man to do his own thing, his own way. There's only one Boxing Jedi. There's only one Phil Walker. There's only one Vincent Grant. There's only one Watcher. And there is certainly only one Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And so for a man to tell me that my videos are not the weird, that means he's telling me that my videos are not the same as others. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I've never wanted to walk in the next man's shadow. That's just not me. My whole thing is to do my thing my way, which is a different way from the next man. And so, but who was that, Raf? It's another guy. I'm not really going to call his name. He's an American guy. He's a sensitive guy. I mean, we all have a certain level of sensitivity, and that's only right. We all have a certain level of sensitivity. That's what helps us relate to ladies. You know, we can tap into that sensitivity. But you know, there's overly sensitive as well as an American guy. Original. You know, I am generally in my daily life. I do things my own way. I do it with a certain way. I do it with a certain flavor. Every man's got his own flavor, you know, and so for yes, SSB up in the building. Yeah, so for a man to tell me that my videos are weird, he doesn't realize how much my heart swelled to hear such words, because that's music. That's music to my ears. What? I saw this guy on one of True School Sports videos. He met with at McDonald's and he looked and sounded just like you, Rafi. Red Glove Militant. You know that was me, don't you? You know True School Sports came to the UK. You ain't changed since day one, mate. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Still the same. Raphael, I was different coming in and I do my thing differently and I'm happy with it. Yeah, Red Glove Militant. Red Glove Militant. That was me, my friend. You know that. You know that. I'm assuming you know that. Okay. But yeah, so every man does this thing a different way. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it is supposed to be. So for a guy to tell my video is weird, that's just music to me. That's just music to me. Everybody's supposed to be different. Everybody's supposed to have their own style, do their thing their own way, have their own different flavor. Phil Walker wants to say something. I can tell.
Look, man, let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you, man. I go on a lot of channels, but you know, you can always come on here and you can share your opinions freely, and nobody's gonna hold that against you. Now they may challenge your opinion, but they're definitely not gonna hold that against you. And that's why I like coming over here and talking, because although we agree on some things, we disagree on many things. So that's always good commentary for the people listening in, because it kind of puts them in a situation where they can choose, they can hear both sides, and that's always good for the people listening in. And it's always respectful, and that's the most important thing for me, because at the end of the day, we all love boxing, and that's what it's about.
100%. That was Phil Walker's final words. And we're moving over to Vincent Grant. Go over to Vincent Grant. Vincent Grant, are you still with us?
Yeah, respect. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you, bro.
Okay. What is it you'd like me to?
Just your final words. Just wrap up your final words in a sentence or two. Final words. We're saying good night.
Okay. Well, good night to everyone, no matter where you are. You know, but the rematch between Wilder and Fury. I pick Fury.
You pick Fury for the rematch. Okie dokie. That's excellent. Keep tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you stay updated with notifications. Thank you very much, Vincent Grant. And the final word of the Boxing Jedi.
Well, just want to say, man, Raph, once again, man, thank you for having me on. Everybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying? You guys are awesome. It's a brand new year. That means everybody, like Raph said, supposed to be, you know, original individuals, you know? So let's be innovative this year. Let's innovate stuff. You know what I mean? More collaborations, of course. More truth in boxing, more than anything. And just basically, man, stay true to one another and just support each other and understand that our debate is supposed to consist of good, clean communication. You know what I mean? I'm glad that we've been slowing all this arguing and everything down. I mean, so far it's been like I haven't ran into anything in a good 6 months now. It's getting clean.
That's clean.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's getting clean, and it's because of channels like this, Rap's channel. You know, uploaders like 10 Players, Red Glove Militant, myself, and others out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an awesome thing. So to the boxing community out there, love you guys, and I'm glad that we can all share our boxing opinions, and I'm also glad that we're able to do research and bring facts.
100%. 100%. So if you bump into a guy who says that Rafi's videos are weird, then you know what you gotta say.
Yeah.
Rafi would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Rafi would appreciate that. So once again, thank you. This shizzle takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of prep time. You guys on the other side probably don't know, but man like Phil Walker, he's got his own channel. Man like Boxing Jedi got his own channel. Man like The Watcher got his own channel. And it takes a lot of time to do this. But, the same guy who told me that my videos were weird, he said, I think I'm going to have to go and get a day job because this really isn't paying. This isn't really paying the way I thought it would pay. We don't make any money. So then he starts complaining that he don't make it. You don't do this for money, you fool. If you want money, you get a job. Get a job if you want money. Yeah. This thing right here is what you do. It's called a labor of love. Time consuming. It's time consuming. It's but you don't do this for money. Boxing is not the kind. You shouldn't open a boxing channel for money. Don't work that way. You do this as a labor of love. If somewhere down the line you manage to, you get a way in. If somewhere down the line you manage to get a way into some money, you get the keys to the vault, or you find yourself in the corridor next to the vault and you can get yourself some money, then you get yourself some money. But to have a grown man, for me to hear a grown man say, this ain't paying, YouTube ain't paying, I got to get myself a job, then, man, bro, you need to pull your socks up, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. And another thing is uploading. This is an art, man.
It's an art.
This is an art.
It's an art. Listen to the Boxing Jedi. Listen to what he told you. This shizzle right here is an art. So for some cookie cutter guy to try and tell me that my videos are weird, you don't know how beautiful that is to me. You don't know how beautiful that is. One of the best things anyone has ever said to me. It's an art, man. It's an art, and it's a labor of love. Yeah. For a grown man, tell me that he thinks he might have to go and get a job. That shows you what kind of individual we are dealing with. But I think I've chopped up. I think I've pretty much said every damn thing that I wanted to say. Let me extend my appreciation to the panel. I've created a forum where people can come in and talk and share. Share with you. Share with me. We share with each other, and that is Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. No apologies over here. No apologies over here. I do the damn thing the way I want to do the damn thing. Who don't like it? Famoosh. Famoosh. Get in ghost mode. Go ghost mode. Stop those dogs fighting.
That's right. That's right.
They're
helping you out with the background. Instead of having the music, you've got the dogs growling.
I love that. Add to the ambiance.
Yeah.
And if that's weird too, yeah. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's where are we now? Okay, it's the Phil Walker. It's the Vincent Grant. It's the Watcher from Australia. It's the Boxing Jedi. It's the Red Glove Militant. It's the Toby Bartlett. It's the Fuzzy Is Here. It's the Marla. It is the Lisa Bayliss. It is the lovely Nicole Beatty. It's the Leighton Evelyn with his Bulldog. It's the Red Glove Militant. It's the Will. It's the Last One. I'm scrolling up. It's the DJ Georgie Porgy. It's the BH. It is. Who we got? Who else we got? We got so many more. You have been in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi, with the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, with an assortment of guests from all around the world. It's tough work, but it's beautiful work. And like Boxing Jedi said, this shizzle is an art. Always good to chop it up with my friends. Always good to chop it up with you guys in the chat. It's 2020. It's going to be a big one for me. And if you put the work in, it's going to be a big one for you. And to that other guy, get a job, mother. And to you, people in the chat, people on the panel, and people in the past, present, and future, only one word. Only one word from the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and you know exactly what it is. So until Wednesday, until next time, Boxing Talk with Rafi, 10 p.m. UK time. Adjust the time for wherever you are. Final word, as always, is blessed.